up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? I'm the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
Welcome back to episode 1. We are the longest reigning episodic episode of one episode.
I don't think that makes sense.
Something like that.
Yeah, see? Yeah, the longest singular pilot episode in the history of episodic events.
Okay.
And so you can listen to us from the beginning to the very end. You don't have to ever stop.
You will never not be in on day one.
Yeah.
And I know
Still day
that...
one-ish.
Yeah, always day one-ish. I know that there's like, oh, it's the people from day one. You're all our people from day one every day. Because we start over every day. We're on day one again. We are the Groundhog's Day of podcasting.
Yeah.
God, I hate you sometimes.
Only sometimes I need to step my game up.
Yeah, you've been going soft. Where every show is our first show. This is Wrestling on the Rocks. Guys, I'm at Ref Marsh. You can find us at Wrestling on the Rocks. Kevlar, who is you?
I'm Kevlar on the Rocks with an X. Take notice, AEW. See how I did that?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. You know what it's not?
What?
I hate you, dude.
I forgot there's no clump to throw it to right now.
That's true. There's no clump. I'm always throwing to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, he usually takes half the beating.
Yeah. Damn it.
Half of this
That's
pointless
good.
aggression. Yeah. Well, what it is not, Kev, as everyone knows, it is not October, which means it is no longer sober for October, and it is back to the November to forget. Drink your cares away.
And what a night to do that on.
Yes, all weeks lead to booze in my life, and some more than others.
I titled this one the election special.
All right.
Speaking of the election,
If I
something I gotta get off my chest real quick.
go, okay,
Since I got everyone's ear.
you got
I'm
him.
sick and tired. I gotta pitch this.
Okay,
See where it goes.
what do we got?
But let's get rid of fucking daylight savings time. Now's our chance.
I think now's a good time to position that as a proposition. I think that if any presidential candidate, as of this moment, said, and I'll also get rid of daylight savings time, we can see the whole thing flip.
Yeah, we're the state that has experimented with that forever, so.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that also the deal? Arizona was just like, hey, we just won't do it for a little bit. We'll see how it works out. And it's like 150 years later, and we're all like, it's going okay. And everyone's like, I don't know. There's not enough data, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it's definitely messed with me, man. Dude, Monday Night Raw comes on now from 9 to midnight.
Yeah.
If Raw wasn't tough enough to get
got
through
jobs.
without drinks. What was that?
I said some of us got jobs that we got to go to bright and early the next morning.
I know, we got jobs. I have to drink to get through this program. You want me to stay up till midnight drinking heavily?
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm so used to
Bullshit.
starting drinking at 8 because of the show that now I'm just pre-gaming the show.
Your one-man tailgate party.
Yeah. Sitting here with a cooler. All right, let's get going. The cooler, I'm in the Thunderdome. I'm in the Thunderdome every Monday Night Raw. Did you know that, Kev? Did you realize that?
I realized I try and look out for you, and I realized there's a lot of people that look similar to you.
That is a shitty thing to say to me, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but
oh,
there was
that's not him.
there was only one person doing the Braun Strowman choo choo.
Yeah, I decided to implement. I'm leaning in on the Strowman Express, Kev.
Are you?
Yeah, now when he comes out and it says Strowman Express and the steam goes, I'm in the Thunderdome every time. Choo choo, choo choo. You know what I mean?
Do you get your wheels going like the Ho train?
I don't do the wheels going. I do the pulling down on the horn. If you're watching on Twitch, this is the motion right here. If you're watching on podcast, it's a fist up perpendicular to my body, parallel to the ground, and then just the pull down like you're trying to get a truck driver to honk at you.
Trying to get the big rigs to...
Yes. The big rig. That's what it is. I'm doing the big rig.
The tugboat.
The old
Didn't
tugboat.
used to do that?
I don't know, maybe, but now it's the Strowman Express.
I did post it. I did post it on Twitter if you're interested.
It is on our Twitter, WOTR the show. You can check out. I'm gonna try to get that because Get These Hands is played out, so I think now we got to go with Strowman Express. Choo choo.
Do you think they're going to correlate the Polar Express and the Strowman Express?
Come Christmas time, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, next month we're definitely going to see that. I think it's 100%. And they did the ugly Christmas sweaters this year already, and the Strowman Express is one. And I was like, that's not an accident, man. They've been planning this for fucking all year.
Yeah. We didn't realize we literally got Christmas in July this year.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. We didn't see it coming. We got blindsided by it, and that's our own fault. And that's how Broman. Let's get to drinking. What's in your glass? That's the segment we missed.
He has more or less like a seasonal holiday Long Island iced tea, essentially.
You don't have to more or less this shit at all. I'll tell you exactly what this is. This is the Marsh Russian. It is a holiday specialty that I've concocted here because I'm celebrating November to Forget. And I've got the original. What?
Grim Reaper's in chat.
Grim Reaper, what up?
What up,
We're just going over Grim Reaper real quick what we're drinking. What are you drinking? I'm about to tell you how I made this concoction here.
The Martian?
The Martian. It is the original Trader Vic's Kona coffee liqueur from Hawaii, which was not illegally smuggled here by any means. Mixed with some Svedka vodka, so it's, I'm going international here. And then topped off, half of this concoction right here is Fulton's Harvest Pumpkin Pie Cream Liqueur. It's like a White Russian, but holiday. So, I don't know, it's a Russian Christmas.
We haven't even made it to Thanksgiving yet.
No, and I'm having it all. Kevlar, what's in your drink? What's in your cup? What? Kev, it's on you.
October did a number to you.
I'm
just drinking. I'm just drinking some Crown on the Rocks, keeping it old fashioned.
Original Crown?
But not an old fashioned.
Is it original Crown or flavored?
Original. The OG.
The OG. That's a callback. That was our whole first, 3 months of episode ones.
Mm-hmm. They never got back to us.
Let's do this. Watch along Sam's Oktoberfest. It's still October to me. It's a very, Dave Wills. It's still October to me, damn it! Sorry. Yeah, dude, this is so good. Oh my god, I was gonna have one of these and then just go to Gentleman Jack for the rest of the night. This is so good, dude. This might be it. I might be done for. I can't though. I can't because then we'll run out of the Kona coffee liqueur, and then producer's gonna throw a fit and get all mad. She's already been buying herself her own liquor. She won't let me touch.
She's gonna have to hide more from you now.
Yeah, that's because you drink the whole bottle, and then I won't even get a chance to have any.
It's because there's a hole in the bottle. It's at the top.
Is there somebody throwing judgment over there? Jeez.
This is a judgment-free zone. I came up with another good catchphrase for us, and I'm trying to figure out how to weasel it in. So I'm just
Get
going to be
these
looking at it all night.
drinks. No.
Yeah, get these drinks. I want to make it stick somehow. I don't know how to make it fit. But I thought, oh, here's what I was thinking, because I even threw it out. And I mean, Grim Reaper's going to think I'm so stupid because I tried it out in the chat and it landed flat. And I still think it's so good. But I put it out there. I put out that we're ironic on the show. And I was like, we're the Ironics.
Oh,
So good. It's going to be a shirt. It's going to be you and me side by side doing a bird thing. Ironics.
Their guts hanging out.
Yes.
And I'll be in the background just with my face
I
in
thought
my
you were going to do it
hands.
the drinking day.
What do you mean? Like Rusev Day?
Yeah.
Drinking day. Well, I can't move my boobs the way he does. Mine flop.
Just do like a magician. Just wave your hand over here and then with the other hand just...
Oh, just make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow the bouncing ball. And then it's like, whoop. Kev, let's knock out some of this news. Anything else you want to hit on the top of the show, the program? This drink is so good, dude.
Just I want to reiterate to get rid of daylight savings time. That's about it.
Yeah, 9 to midnight is no joke, and it is not fair or fun. I know that they were tweeting today about how Raw had record low third-hour ratings. I don't think that there's a mistake, one, because daylight savings just happened, and this was the first show that went till midnight if you're in, like, this part of the country. I think also... You know, the whole
3 parts?
I don't know how many parts there are, dude.
I think it's like Arizona, and there's like one county in Indiana and one somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think we're alone in this. I don't think we're the only place getting Raw till midnight. And I think also the third hour was like completely leaning on Drew McIntyre. Man, when I found out that the last half an hour was going to be Drew McIntyre on, I was like, I should just turn off the show. I would have turned it off. No, we're not starting with Raw. We're starting with news. What? What was that, Kev?
So you wouldn't have missed anything.
I wouldn't have.
If you would've
I
just
guessed
turned it
what
off, like,
I said when it came on. This is what's going to happen. It's going to be this, but I got to see that it happens. It plays out that way, and it did. So waste of time. Anyways, we'll get to Raw when we get to Raw. Let's talk news. There's a lot that happened in the news over the weekend, Kev.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So I
let's
was
see.
looking up what places don't do daylight savings time.
You're just trying to get
Arizona.
Good.
Yeah, this
Hawaii.
is definitely a hot issue for
American
Kevlar here.
Samoa,
Okay.
Guam,
Yeah.
the Northern Marina Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands.
So we should have voted in the
Coming
tribal
strong.
chief, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're like cousins.
Yeah,
now.
if The Rock had run.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true. If The Rock had run, we would have had the tribal chief. There's no way he could have lost. Let's see.
Hey,
Grim Reaper says in the chat real
one more.
quick. It was also a high-rated Monday night football game between New York Giants and Tampa Bay Bucks because of Tom Brady. All right. I mean, I believe
the
that.
Giants had won one game.
Yeah, I didn't think people would care about that one. But I mean, if it was high-rated, then I get it.
It was supposed to be a blowout, and Tampa Bay won by a missed passing interference call.
They barely won?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it was high-rated. Everyone's like, you got to watch this shit. Tampa Bay's falling apart. There's a good chance that people weren't watching because they wanted to see the success of Tom Brady. They thought they were about to witness the failure. So everyone was tuning in.
See, I thought they were tuning in so that see if Gronk would win the 24/7 title again.
Well, that's a good point. You have a former 24/7 title holder on the field. It's hard to miss. Yeah. Let's see. Let's talk about this real quick off the top. This weekend on Friday, November 6th, Mission Pro Wrestling is doing their tournament Out of Hell. It'll be streaming on TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com. You can find out more about it at missionprowrestling.net, where you can find out how you also can be a sponsor, not just us. They had a couple people drop out. They've had a few people jump back in. I think it's going to be a really good show. Definitely worth watching. And I mean, check it out. We're going to have Dork Chop from the chat. He's not in the chat right now because I mean, he's loyal, but he's not like super loyal. But
Because of daylight savings time. God damn it.
probably daylight savings time. He's confused. Wait, that's true. Is our time off now? Yeah, we go on at a different
we
time
should go
now.
on 6 our time. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that we just went on 6. I was like, we'll just keep going on 6, but you're right. We're on at a different time now.
Yeah, for him, it's probably 7 at this point.
It's 7 for him? What was it before? Are we on earlier or later? We're on earlier now. Ugh. Kev, I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. We got to get rid of daylight savings time. It's messing with our cash flow. I don't know. But I know that we used to be 3 hours apart. Now we're 2. And that's the East Coast. But
Yeah, they're 1 hour ahead.
So who knows how. Oh, God, I didn't know that. We're in Arizona, Grim Reaper.
What's kind of interesting is Texas has like different parts are in different time zones. So in El Paso, they're the same time as us, but in Austin, they're central, so they're an hour ahead of us.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
So is that why fucking Texas thinks they're such big shits? Because they got more than one time zone?
It's a huge state. It takes like 3 days to drive through it.
It's
I
not
remember
that big of a state. I used to live in Alaska. You know how many Texases fit in Alaska?
I don't.
1.5.
I forget the number, but it's more than a couple. It's like 5.
I was waiting for this punchline.
No, it's real. Alaska's if you take the size of Alaska, if you imprint it over the continental United States, it's over a third of our land is Alaska. That's where I'm from. So fuck Texas and anyone who even thinks about Texas. Dorkchop's not in the chat, just so I can get away with this right now. Because here's the other thing: is I don't think Dorkchop listens to the pod if he doesn't watch. I'm gonna say that right now, Dorkchop. If you're listening on the pod, I apologize. But if you're not, you fuck you, dude.
Well, don't say that because the event is also in Texas. So
That's true. The event is in Texas. That's where Mission Pro Wrestling's located. We're huge supporters of this. We love everything that they're doing, even if it's in Texas. Dorkchop's going to be on the ground. He's going to be there. He's going to film some. It's going to be pretty cool. That also means that, yeah, I guess we're on an hour earlier on the East Coast. Remember how we're like, oh, yeah, we go on really late for East Coast. Now it's not so late, so maybe we'll get away with some stuff. Yo, Kev, we do have a sad one. Al Samson Voss passed away. He is a former wrestler and a former referee. This man held a referee license for professional wrestling from 1964 to 2001. I don't know if that's a record, but I don't know that I've ever heard of someone being licensed to ref as long as that. Maybe Tommy Young, maybe. But that is a long time. Just reading about him, he's got quite the career. He was Mr. Brooklyn when he was doing the bodybuilding competitions. So, tears in our beers to Al Samson Voss, a legend.
Cheers.
I like this drink so much. I'm so pissed. I know that if I have another one, producer will kick me in the shins.
Just don't drink the whole bottle. That's like the rare stuff that we
But
can't
there's
get.
not much left. There was like the reason we stopped drinking it is because we almost ran out. So me having one shot. I think there's only a shot, maybe a shot and a half left.
Yeah, we need to figure out where to get this special Hawaii Kona coffee.
Anybody
liqueur.
knows anyone who works for Trader Vic's, that's the true sponsorship we're really gunning for here. All right, Kev, I got a couple things, and then we'll get into the shows. Because to be honest, I was reading through the shows today. I don't know that we're going to have like a lot to break down without us just saying like SmackDown cool, Raw bad. But there's plenty. Yeah, those are did you read my notes, dude?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. You told me you were going to read my fucking notes, man. And we still got 3 more things in news I wanted to talk about. One of them is not as sad, but is still not great. Kylie Ray has retired. She made the announcement she has retired from wrestling. She put this out on her Patreon. I believe it was yesterday, maybe the day before. Yesterday, if you're watching live, the day before, if you're listening on podcast. It does say, "Good morning. I'm truly sorry for the pain I've caused and miscommunication. I am currently unwell. I am also sorry that I wasn't able to get this out before your monthly subscription charge. Oh, it's a bummer for those. I wanted to take this time to say I am no longer a professional wrestler and am currently taking a break from social media. It's been a very hard decision to make, but please understand. When I am well, I will try and fulfill any obligations that I have missed. During this time, most tiers will not be able to be fulfilled. Please feel free to unsubscribe from my membership and Patreon account. Thank you for your understanding. That's loaded, man. It's loaded. It's vague, but it's a bummer. I mean, this is going to be the second time that she's retired from wrestling in the past, I would say, even a calendar year, right? Year and a half. Because right before AEW went on TV is when she came to the conclusion that she had to leave the business once before. She came back a number of months later, and she'd been on quite the tear. My understanding, too, she was a champion, I thought, currently. And wherever Tessa Blanchard was holding the title, I know she vacated the Impact, but she had one, I think, for Warrior Wrestling. And Kylie Ray's the one who took the title off her for there. And I don't remember hearing about a match since then, so I think she was still the title holder. So she's obviously beloved in the community. You see it all over Twitter, which she's already deactivated, but it's all over there that people love and miss her already. It's just a sad thing to hear. It just makes you wonder a little bit about... Here's the thing, I'll say this up front. I'm wondering so much, and I feel like I have so many questions, but not for a second do I think Kylie Ray owes me or anyone else an explanation at all. You know what I mean? She doesn't... I haven't done anything that... I don't think anyone has done anything that warrants her having to explain what makes her unwell and why she's done this for the second time. But it does raise a lot of wonderment, I will say. It makes me very, very curious. It makes me wonder, will we see her down the line, or is this truly for the last time? I guess only time will tell. Kev, what do you think about Kylie Ray walking away from professional wrestling?
I'm not too familiar with her work. I know there was a lot of hype around her, and like you said, she retired twice. Basically all you got to do is, just wish her good luck, and hopefully she gets well and in whatever's ailing her.
Yeah, whatever that unwell thing is, I hope that gets sorted out.
Yeah, I'm also wondering how she is planning to fulfill, because I was a little surprised that she said that part, that when I'm well, I'll fulfill. I mean, if you're retired from wrestling, I'm not sure what else.
I think she was talking about her Patreon. The Patreon itself had things like signed 8x10s and pictures, giveaway things. Like, I think that's what she meant. Is like, hey, if you subscribed this month, I'm going to go back. I mean, I would hope that's what it sounds like to me, that I'll go back, and anyone that needed like a little voice message or a signed photo, I forget all the different things she had, or a little, a couple little pictures or whatever, that she would potentially be able to fulfill. That is what I think she means by that. But yeah, it's a bummer. It's a sad story. It was really cool when I'll see Twitter light up and just talk about it for a while, and people sharing pictures with her in the ring. And one of the cool ones I liked a lot was actually, I don't think that there was any words to it at all or any hashtags or anything. I think it was just a photo by itself that Bayley tweeted out, and it was Bayley standing between Thunder Rosa and Kylie Ray. And I was like, I don't know where that is, but that would have been a hell of a night to be there, wherever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine a Kylie Ray versus Thunder Rosa to begin with would be a killer match, and to like look to the side and see Bayley in the audience. What? Yeah.
Bayley posted that picture.
Bayley posted it, from what I remember. It's getting a little more ice. So, before I can tears in our beers and see you down the road, cheers. I gotta pour another drink because I'm
fill
out.
her up.
Gotta fill her up.
First segment was so bad.
Yeah. In the chat, they say, I hope that she's okay. I hope so, too. I mean, clearly that's all you want from anybody. You want everyone to just live a happy life. Find fulfillment in what they do. All that good stuff. So, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. I didn't quite meet her, but when I was at StarCast, and I think about it, she was running around. I was just standing in a weird area. I was kind of like between two areas, and I was just standing there either looking at a map or looking at the time or trying to figure out what I wanted to do. It was kind of like I was just standing in this weird spot between everything. And she came out of nowhere, and I didn't know who she was yet. But she came out of nowhere. She almost even bumped into me because she was like yelling at someone across the way and just smiling and waving and saying something. And I didn't quite recognize her. I didn't know who she was. I'm not going to lie, but I almost asked her for a photo because something about her screamed star. She was just exuding that kind of energy. You know what I mean? Where I was all like, oh, this is somebody. This is definitely somebody. I don't know. That was my only real interaction with her. And I could see why people gravitated is all. So we'll see you down the road. And if we don't, thank you for everything that you gave us while you were on the road. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, still good. Still, I did the drink again, but without the Kona part. Still good. Oh, maybe I should add some coffee to this. All right, fine. That was the producer saying, no, I cannot have coffee with this. Hey, Clump, you had nothing else with the Kylie Ray, right?
Whoa. That is hurtful.
Yeah, you just called him Clump. That's not Clump.
What happened?
Jeez, cut him off.
What happened? I was just thinking about this drink. I was staring at this drink. What just happened?
You called Kevlar Clump. He is definitely not Clump.
Well, maybe if I didn't feel so fucking disappointed in him right now.
Yo, you need to get cut off. You're an angry drink.
We thought you were going to be a happy drunk, being able to drink again. You've gotten straight into the pointless aggression era.
Yeah. I didn't sign up for this shit.
You can get your names right.
Ironics. We're going to get it. We're going to get a new shirt. The other bit of news, Allison Kay is no longer with NWA. Her contract expired. She did not renew it, so far as I can tell. She posted a tweet about it. She's not with NWA anymore, and she's now taking bookings, and she's a free agent. Did you get to see very much of Allison Kay while she was in NWA?
No, I did not.
Great. I will say this is when I first saw her, when I was first watching NWA, that was my first introduction to her. And to be honest, because I'm just an honest and candid person, I wasn't super impressed right away. I saw she was the champion and I was like, that's cool, but it didn't quite click with me. When I went out there to watch the Hard Times pay-per-view, and she tore the house down with Thunder Rosa, I remember walking away thinking like, that could have been match of the night. You know what I mean? That was incredible. And I remember walking out of there with a ton of respect for both of them. And her being a free agent, honestly, I think any company would be happy to have her. They'd be lucky to have her. So far as I can tell, just her in-ring work alone at that point. So I'm curious. We'll see what happens. Do you think she pops up in AEW? Do you think she pops up somewhere else? What do you think? She was the NWA champ before Thunder Rosa for a while too.
I mean, it'd be smart if AEW tried to scoop her up. The division needs a lot of help over there.
So I'm torn on that.
Especially if you're especially if you're constantly bringing over Thunder Rosa and stuff like that for her, Well, who's the other one that just came over as well? The NWA champ.
Well, that's just it. Serena Deeb was never in the NWA. She just got the NWA title at a non-NWA event, which Thunder Rosa put it up. She won. She's over. And now Serena Deeb is on AEW Dynamite defending the NWA title. Here's another weird little tidbit. I saw a commercial for AEW this weekend, and it showed Serena Deeb holding up the NWA women's title, and it never once showed another woman in that commercial.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't show Sheeta. They showed Nyla at the very, very end, now I think about it. Nyla Rose coming off the top. But they didn't show their women's title. They didn't show their women's champion. They didn't show even Britt Baker. They didn't show anyone but Serena Deeb holding up the NWA women's title. And I was like, that's a little weird. You guys are missing the mark. You just spent advertising money, I imagine. I don't know their deal. I don't understand contracts. To highlight a title that is not your own. And you have your own. You know what I mean? Kev, are you there? Did I lose you?
We're live, guys. You're welcome. I don't even know if this mic is working. I'm going to hold them both just because I don't know what one's working. I know we can see it, but I don't know if the mic is actually being picked up or not. So I'm just going to hold it. If nothing else, it's for a prop if you're watching visually. We've had a minor snafu, but you know what? It's episode 1, so no big deal. Kev, how you doing? Yeah.
I survived the break.
You just survived the break. Hey, yeah, like you said, bear with us. It's only episode 1. That's all. We've been doing episode 1 for almost 2 years. We're used to this kind of episode 1. I guess where we left off before the break that didn't happen, Kev, I was saying Allison Kay on NWA, out of NWA. AEW had a commercial that showed an NWA Women's Championship title being held up by Serena Deeb and did not, in fact, show their own women's champion, their own face of the division, Britt Baker or Shida, or their title for the women's division. What do you think about that as far as AEW just putting themselves out there that way?
It's because AEW realizes the women's belt is hideous.
It's just an ugly belt, that's all.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Tony said that in like a press conference? They're like, hey, we noticed you were showcasing your belt. Oh, it's a much better looking belt.
Yeah. They're going to get a little AEW sticker and put it at the top. And this is our belt.
Yeah.
Belt now.
Yeah. Right over it says NWA. It's just like a little piece of black tape, little white marker on there, AEW.
Designed by Mick Foley himself.
Yeah. Right here at AEW Dynamite. So I think it's interesting. I do think that wherever Allison goes, they're going to be lucky to have her. And I mean, quite honestly, because selfishly, I like to see stuff. Like you said, I agree. AEW probably really needs her, but I want to see her tussle with some of the women over in WWE. If you're asking me.
Yeah, well, any hot new talent, you would want to put them up against the best. But I just think AEW needs it. Like AEW. Looking at it from her standpoint, they might throw a ton of cash at her and say, hey, we need you. And, that might be better off for her.
Yeah. And Thunder Rosa, she came out in an interview and said that wherever she goes, she says she is under contract for the next year. But when that contract is up, wherever she goes, she wants them to allow her to do her side projects. And so she said that because she finds the most joy in her side projects, that it makes her think that AEW may be a good fit because they're more likely to do that. She said, I'd rather have happiness than money, and said something about would rather not be a slave. So referring to WWE talent as slaves yet again, which I think is a bit undermining of slavery. But I do understand the idea. Yeah, easy. People throw around certain terms where I'm all like, do you not know? Like I worked for a place that I would teach repairs, and I remember teaching someone who went on to teach repairs and overhearing the person saying something along the lines of like, oh, when this thing breaks and you're doing the repair, there's literally nothing worse in the world when that happens. And I turned to that dude and I was like, dude, nothing? He's like, what? Nothing worse in the world than a broken computer part? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Just a black hole in the one computer.
Yeah, you got like a little tab that breaks. Yeah. And you know what? Murder doesn't seem as bad anymore. You kidding me?
Half the murders across the world are caused by that computer part.
Yeah. Yeah, that tab will do it every time. And slavery to me is another one of those things where we just throw it around.
Yeah.
This is slavery. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that or people say this is a prison. What was it, Ellen? Was it Ellen who took a picture of her during COVID and being like, we're all in the same prison together? And it's like, no, you're in a goddamn mansion. Like, we throw around certain terms, and that's all I'm saying is the slavery term I thought was a little out of not quite. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I thrive to be in that prison that Ellen's in.
Yeah. You kidding me? How do I get locked up there?
Yeah. What do I have to do?
Yeah, what do I got to do to get locked up around here? Yeah, I understand. Let's see. So, well, anything else you had to say about Allison Kay?
No.
Okay. So the last thing on here, I'm just going to throw this out. I would typically talk about this on tomorrow, or not tomorrow's show, but the Thursday show. But I'm just going to throw it out there now because I figure the earlier it gets out, the better, because you heard it here first every time. There's a little bit of rumors. I just want to know what you think about this because I also don't know if you're going to be here on the Thursday show. That's the reason I want to bring it up now. Sting is no longer under a Legends contract with WWE. That contract expired. They pulled all of his merch from the WWE shop. And now there's all these rumors, rumblings. Obviously, the rumor is he's going to show up at AEW because anytime anybody does anything, that means they're going to AEW. I think that there's more complexities than that. However, you've been watching AEW the past few weeks. You've been noticing Darby, right? Sitting up there in the rafters.
Doing the Sting thing, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, do you think the possibility is there that at Full Gear, Darby is moping out in the stands and boom,
Sting
a crow
beat
lands.
his
Sting beats the shit out of him. Fuck you, you little twerp.
Yeah. Get down there. Get your shit together.
What the fuck's wrong with you, dude? Lighten up. Just smacking him. Boom. You mopey little shit. What are you doing? Half
So
dead in my ass.
1997.
Yeah. Come on. I did this 30 years ago. Yeah. No, so what if Sting does show up at Full Gear? It's showing Darby, and all of a sudden, boom, a crow maybe lands on his shoulder. There's no way they could do it right. It's going to look stupid. It's going to look awful. It's going to be worse than that robot spider, but it lands on him.
It's going to look
It's
like
like a-
Marcy the Buzzard.
Yeah, Mercy the Buzzard, just boom, right there on his shoulder. But he goes, "I'm a crow!" Roar! Yeah. People go, "Crows don't make that noise." He goes, "Roar! I'm a crow!" Is that a crow? He said he's a crow.
What about one of those old racist cartoon crows? Hey
old
there,
racist
brother.
The little drunk one.
Yeah.
With the bottle in his throat. No. So the crow lands on his shoulder. He looks that way. He's looking the wrong way because when he turns back around, boom, sitting right next to him, Papa Sting. Sting adopts Darby. Darby's now his adopted child. He literally takes him under his metaphorical wing.
Darby's connected to his teeth.
Yes.
Come here, son.
When they do promos, he's literally holding him like a baby and petting the back of his head.
Yeah.
My newest adoption and son, baby Dominic Darby. And at some point, him and Moxley and Sting will fight for the custody of Darby Allin in a ladder match on a pole. The ladder will be on a pole.
Yeah, you gotta get the ladder down.
Yeah,
To get this shit.
100%. The ladder on a pole match has the custody paperwork of Darby Allin in a briefcase above the ring. You got to get up the pole, get the ladder down, and then you can climb up the ladder to get the contract off to own the custody of a young Darby Allin. I'm telling you, man, I just booked them their next WrestleMania.
Yeah. The next All In. Double
Yeah.
or nothing.
All in Mania, double or nothing Mania.
Yeah.
I just want to get that out there. I don't like when we fantasy book stuff and it's like just on the cusp or other people have talked about it. I wanted this out there now because the writing's on the wall. You know what I mean? This one's an obvious one for anyone who's paying attention.
Yeah. Any of you hatwits out there?
Yeah. Yeah. Pay attention. And then once you have Darby suckling on the teat of Mox, once he wins the custody of young Darby, you'll then have Miro, who's got Kip Sabian suckling on his teat, and they can then have their tag matches of father-son duos against each other.
Yes.
What? What? It's mother's milk.
They're not mothers.
Well, they're a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Shut
you know
your
what I mean?
mouth.
Yeah. I'm just talking about Mox. You producer's so pissed. This is the best episode of Cutter Mike. The best thing to come out of this episode is she doesn't have a mic.
I can still mute you. I
That's a good point. She still got the mute. They got the
Just talk
mute.
louder.
They got the mute. They got the mute.
Just text me what you want or what you want to say, and then I'll read it until she mutes me.
Yeah. A lot of action happening in the chat, it seems. What do you mean? All right. Well, that was all I had for the news. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm just trying to think. Like, it's weird that, the face of WCW, he doesn't, get a renewed Legends contract and stuff like that. And, I could see him going over there, especially with the way AEW mirrors so much of WCW.
Yeah.
And how loyal Sting was. And, I'm, the company man, this and that. So, maybe going to, over with Cody and stuff like that, maybe he sees it as an extension of WCW.
I mean, Bischoff's been on the show twice now.
Yeah.
And Bischoff, I'm sure, is talking to Sting. He goes, dude, you want to talk about some easy fucking money for nothing?
Yeah.
I'm sure he
Do this
talks to his buddy Jake. You think he doesn't know Jake or Arn or Tully or Dean Malenko? Any of the legends in the back who they're doing jack all shit with?
Yeah.
And he's like, I could get free money too.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
All you gotta do is this terrible town hall gimmick, and you get paid.
Yeah. Like, look, dude, you don't have to do the musical numbers. They leave that to their new guys. He goes, what?
Dude, you know what'd be great?
What?
Sting comes up at in the town hall, and he goes back to like muted Sting, and he doesn't say anything. He just points the bat at Jericho, then over at MJF, and just walks away.
No, dude, this is AEW. He wouldn't walk away. He'd point the bat, and it would just do a hard cut, and it would just be a bunch of crows flying away.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would blow up into doves or something.
Scorpions everywhere.
Scorpions all over. Oh, get him off!
Yeah. This is what he meant by little stingers.
Can you imagine Jake pitching AEW to Sting? He's like, look, brother. Or Arn even. Arn's like, look, brother, I do pretty much nothing. I wear the comfiest jacket I've had in a long time. They pay me so much, and I've done literally nothing.
You don't even have to be in shape.
Yeah, you don't have to be in shape. You don't got to do anything.
You don't have to work out. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I heard about the song and dance thing. He goes, that's their newest, hottest talent. He goes, what? The hottest talent? Yeah. Their biggest prospect, they're the ones who do the musical numbers. We just sit back and do nothing, dude. What?
Unless that was the thing that drew Sting in.
Yeah, and then Sting's like, well, but you're like coaching the back. I'm like, well, like, in finger quotes. They don't listen. Sting's like, what is happening over there?
That's what drew Sting in. He wanted to be, a performer.
Yeah.
And he wants to do musical numbers.
Yeah, he was all like, I was hoping to be the one to sing this time. It really was.
Yeah. When's my turn?
Arn's like, remember those years? He's like, remember like 97-ish when you did 3 appearances in a year and got paid the highest salary? It's like that again.
Then randomly spoke Spanish at the end of Starrcade.
Yeah, mamacita! 100%. 100%. Yeah, so I don't know if Sting shows up or not, but if he does, I've laid out a perfect custody battle feud over the custody of a young Darby Allin. A young Darby All-In, as I call him.
Yeah.
And then Sting can constantly mispronounce his name. Derby All-In. And Mox is like...
My son Derby.
Yeah, this is my young boy and stallion Derby. And Mox goes, stop calling him Derby. And then Sting just looks at Mox and he's like, come on.
I mean, if Sting went over there, like, that'd be huge for AEW. That'd be by far the biggest name they have over there.
I would say that would be huge for a company that knew how to use him. Yes. As far as for AEW, I'd say it's a fucking roll of the dice on what happens with his usefulness. They ran off Earl Hebner. They've turned Jericho into a fucking joke. Arn Anderson has become completely useless. Tully Blanchard is the 5th member in a talking feud right now, and arguably the best talker that's ever been. Fucking Jake the Snake has done more putting himself over and forgetting about Lance, second only to Taz, who's done everything to make sure Taz is as relevant as can be. Who's on his fucking team is anybody's guess. So, yeah, I'd say Sting being contracted over there could be good news for Sting, and maybe so-so news for anybody who watches AEW, because, hey, who knows what the fuck they're going to end up doing with him. I just think a custody battle with Darby Allin between Moxley and him could be big money.
Yeah.
They could sell out the Alamo Dome.
I'm just trying to think, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then maybe,
I don't
you know, and then, you know, this is all speculation, you know, WWE might just be pulling one over on AEW, seeing, you know, going back to, you know, the petty shit that they do, and seeing Darby, you know, doing the Sting gimmick, and WWE's like, hey, let's release it that, you know, you're no longer under a Legends contract, let's do this, and then, you know, Sting shows up in NXT.
They're so funny, dude. It'd be so good. I do think that it's worth noting Sting did have an interview where he talked about having the injury that he had, which I think was very similar to what Daniel Bryan and Edge had, and has talked about being able to rehab and that he feels confident doing stuff in the ring, but not on the level he used to, obvious reasons. But that he feels confident he could take a bump. However, he's not confident the WWE are willing to let him. So he could be getting that itch where he wants to do a little something here and there. So I think there's definitely reason to believe he could say, I want to go to AEW because they'll let me take a bump. Fuck.
Yeah.
If there's any company that will let you take literally any bump, that's the company. They
I
have
just don't want them.
no restrictions on bumps there. What's that?
I just don't want them to kill him.
Hey, man. I don't want
Please
them
don't
to
kill my
either, but
Stinger.
yeah, they're going to pluck that stinger. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, can you imagine just being like, I wish someone would let me wrestle, and then you're watching all the AEW stuff and goes, well, fuck.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah. So I don't know, but there is some speculation floating around that he could be showing up there, and I don't know. I just want to get your take on it in case you're not here on Thursday. So.
Yeah.
Plus, you heard it here first. Derby all in custody battle.
Yes. What if he comes back as Surfer
words.
Sting?
That'd be so fucking dope, dude. Comes out in the red, white, and blue, American Bash stuff.
Yeah.
He comes out to Real American.
I was gonna say that too. I am. Oh wait.
Yeah. But I think they would have to start it because they didn't do it a lot in WWE. There's the very, very beginning of that song. They usually cut the very, very beginning and swing it straight to the da 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 ba na na na. But right before then, was it Rick Derringer? It's a real slow intro. It goes, I am a real American. It's real somber. And then he's like, fight for what's right. Fight for your life. And then he goes, bah, bah, da. I think it'd be great to have that haunting Real American right at the beginning. And he comes out all fucking stoic. Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
What if it's just like, I am all elite. Dun, dun, dun,
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%.
AEW. Come on. You got
AEW. AEW. Be elite. Be Sting. I'm working the thing up.
Yeah. You can do the AEW Spirit Squad.
Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. Dude, let's get into it. SmackDown.
Good.
How fucking incredible is Jay and Roman still. Like, they are not
Pretty-
letting off the gas on this, right?
They're pretty good.
Pretty good. His whole screaming at him, I hate you, and he's like crying and looking away. And we watched it a couple times even, and producer was all like, it looks and feels kind of like a little kid being yelled at,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I was like, yeah, I kind of think that's what it is I think that it's supposed to be, you know, I'm the elder statesman and you need to bow to me. And he's being a bit, like, not immature-ish, but he's got that young passion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was fantastic. And then, I mean, obviously, it all culminates to later on the night where, because at first I hate you, I hate you. And then it's like, I love you too, though. I love you. And then Roman 6J on Daniel Bryan. And I know we're cutting quick towards the end here. There's meat in the middle, but I figure there's no point in jumping around storylines on this. The way that it opened, the way that it closed with Jey Uso beating the absolute snot out of Drew, God, Daniel
The
Bryan,
guy.
the guy. You know the dude, the beard dude, the face dude?
Yeah.
Beating the snot out of him and doing it for Roman and all of that. And then they put out an injury thing about Daniel Bryan. I mean, it was little stuff like bruised kidney and something about his back being like pinched or something. Like, it was obviously, you know, take him off TV for a while. But what do you think? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know, the thing that got me was, where was his tag team partner, Kevin Owens?
I know.
I was like, KO, come on.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I was like, come on, man. Like, I thought this would be a perfect time for KO to come running out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking Jay's beating him down. And then all of a sudden you hear, I am a real and here comes Kevin Owens. You know?
He's a real Canadian.
Yeah. I am a real Canadian.
Oh my God! Is it?
Oh God!
It
Oh God! Dun-na, dun-na, dun-na.
is!
But yeah, I thought it was a little weird because I did think that I really liked that segment last week when Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens were like, yeah, I've never been tag team champion. He's all like, well, you kind of backstabbed every single one of your friends. He goes, we're just glossed over that. What did you think of this, Jay and Roman and the Daniel Bryan interaction here? Here's the other thing I'll throw at you too, just because I'm going to throw it all at you. I thought this was an interesting way to make the defeat of Jey Uso seem even more relevant after the fact, because now you had Daniel Bryan, who we all know is championship material at any given moment and can hold that world title at any given time believably, and is one of the most skilled, if not the skilled, most wrestler of all time. He's constantly in those discussions. And here Jey Uso is getting a win over a former champion, a former multi-time champion. It then retroactively brings him up a level because not only did he is performing at a level where he can be the world champion, but it also, in turn, elevated Roman a little bit more. If Roman could beat the ever living shit out of Jay the way that he did and nearly murder him a couple times, think of what he could do to Daniel Bryan. And we already know Daniel Bryan's excellent. So it's one of those things where it's all like, wow, Daniel Bryan is incredible. Jey Uso got a win over him, and Roman just stomped a fucking hole in the middle of Jay. You know what I mean? So I feel like he kind of elevated the whole storyline. Go ahead.
No, you got it. That's it.
Oh my god.
No, yeah, like 100%. Like, because seeing the Jay and Roman matches where you're like, all right, cool, Jay's hanging in there, you know,
Yeah.
it's whatever. But, you know, turn around and then use Daniel Bryan as basically a stepping stone after the fact. Like you said, like, holy shit, like, if he did this to Jay and Jay beat Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan's like considered, you know, one of the best talents on the roster, like, Roman's like beyond on top of his game right now.
Yeah.
He's just, beating the shit out of anyone and everyone that he can, and it does make Roman look godly almost.
Yeah, dude, it really comes to like fucking try me. Who's feeling froggy? Who wants to jump? And you get to see the entire roster just being like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Forget that guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then especially what he did to Braun and what Braun did over on Raw.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So everyone talks about every defeat being a burial. This person does this, and now they're buried. They're ruined forever. I mean, like you just said, Jay's better than ever, and he just got to new heights. Braun Strowman's doing awesome choo-choo, here come the train, a choo-choo express stuff over on Raw.
Roman Express.
Yeah. So I think that, yeah.
That should be his horn.
I think that there's a difference between taking a loss while someone's getting leveled up and being buried by somebody as they're trying to come up. You know what I mean? Roman defeating everybody on the roster right now isn't going to bury anyone. It's just going to further elevate the idea of where Roman stands. As long as they remain strong in other fights, it doesn't matter if they continue to lose against this one.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and just like Jay, like, if somebody else goes up against Roman anytime soon, it just brings that person up.
Yeah.
Because Jay was, as a singles competitor, he was under, mid card.
Yeah.
He was, almost bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. And by having him,
style.
Yeah, and having get this win over Daniel Bryan also made you kind of sit back for a second and say, hey, this is the dude who keeps losing to Roman, and he's not just a schlub who just happened to end up in these matches. This is a dude who's a serious competitor, and it wasn't just Roman beating the shit out of this fucking mid-card tag team cousin of his. It wasn't just him beating up a little kid. This was Roman looked big during a match against somebody who turns out is actually incredibly close to that level. So it's like, I felt like him getting that win over Daniel Bryan did not hurt Daniel Bryan, but it did elevate the entire storyline between Jay and Roman.
Mm-hmm. How close is Jimmy to coming back?
See, here's the thing. I don't understand contracts.
I know.
So,
but I thought it was an injury thing.
I think injuries are contracts. They're written in, I thought.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about contracts. I don't fucking understand. But I thought, my understanding at a time was that you couldn't be in the ring with any combatant doing any kind of bump at all if you were not 100% cleared to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had always been led to believe, but I'm not an insider. I am just a mark, and I don't understand contracts. But Jimmy was in the ring twice now, interacting with Roman, and even got choked out by Roman. Leads me to believe that I suspect he may be cleared, but also he's got a knee injury. If he's like, yeah, if he chokes me out, my knee never gets fucking wrecked, but he's kicking and moving and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, I would guess he's probably cleared to wrestle. But like you said, why isn't he wrestling now? So, I don't know.
Unless they're, just playing the slow game with it. And, because I think it'd be interesting to, they're already kind of, building this bloodline faction.
Yeah.
And what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm stirring.
You sound like the fucking what is it called? Salvation Army.
Yeah.
With your red bin at the ding. But anyways,
it's having pumpkin drink, man. We already been over this. It's Christmas right now.
You're be standing outside of Walgreens, just stirring your drink. Donations.
That's exactly how I would do donations. I would put the bell in my back pocket and I'd have a glass of ice that I'd just be stirring and sipping in. Bling, 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 bling. Bling, 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 bling. Hey, give me some shit, man. Bling, 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 bling.
Shaking it at all the little kids. Like, hey.
Yeah, a Boston shaker in one hand. Just,
Yeah.
I'm making a margarita, kid. What's up? You got some change?
But anyways, what I was gonna say about the bloodline thing is, they're clearly building a faction, as what it looks like so far.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be great if, Jay gets like the IC belt.
Oh, that'd be
And
good.
then as Jim comes back, he's like, "Hey man, I lined up a tag team match." And then, then all of a sudden, Jay's got the attitude.
Yeah.
Hey, you're beneath me. I'm not a tag team competitor anymore. This and this, and then that could be like an interesting storyline with Roman, then initiating him and beating Jimmy up into the blood gang.
Yeah.
Is it jump in? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. It's like that Black Eyed Peas songs. Jump in, jump in, jump in, jump in, jump in, jump in.
It's always a good show when the Black Eyed Peas get a reference.
It's good. Yeah, dude. On this show, the Black Eyed Peas gets referenced in every first episode.
If you go back and listen to all our first episodes, there's
Yeah.
a slight reference. You got to pick it out yourself.
Can you spot it? Can you spot the Black Eyed Peas in this one? Yeah, I want to see them do more with Bloodline. I do think that there's a possibility where, oh my god, I lost it. I had a really cool booking idea with like Rikishi. Oh.
Sober for October was a great cause, but it's fucking this show up.
It's a good cause. It's bad for business, dude. I was gonna have Rikishi come out and do some shit. I don't remember. Oh, you know what I was thinking? I think I was thinking way further down the line, like when we try to get to like a WrestleMania, how can we get to WrestleMania with The Rock versus Roman? And I think if we have Roman snap and actually like attack Rikishi, like spear him and he takes a bump, because I bet you Rikishi could take one more bump. I don't think the Wild Samoans could, but I
No,
think you
not
could.
at all.
Yeah, but I think you could do a bump on Rikishi, and then you can have The Rock show up and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You could even have The Rock do something weird or crazy, show up for Rumble, and have that happen at the Rumble and go from there. But I don't know. I do think that there's a lot to be done with the
Well,
Bloodline. But go ahead, say what you're gonna say, and then I want you to follow up with what do you do with Roman next? If Jay joins him, what's next for Roman? Who do you book him against after Survivor Series? How do you get all the way to Rumble?
what I was going to say is the Rikishi idea would be great if Roman was almost, holding Jimmy and Jay hostage, and
Yeah.
Rikishi goes to The Rock and says, "Hey, I need you to help release my sons," or something like that.
Or if Jimmy was hesitant where Jay's on board and Roman's like, you need to get your act together to Jimmy. And Rikishi's coming out with all of them because he's like, it's all about family. It's all about the family. And Jimmy just keeps giving him side eyes and shit. You can see Roman just being like, this is on you, and fucking lays out Rikishi and says, you need to straighten up before something else happens. You know what I mean? If like walks off and everyone goes, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
That's my thought.
But anyways,
What do you think you do with Roman?
So after
Yeah.
Survivor Series,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like the true face of SmackDown right now, like the baby face.
Yeah.
Maybe Kevin Owens. He's not
Maybe.
even a true baby face.
I mean, he's
they
pretty
can
baby
put on
face
great
right now.
matches. Yeah.
Yeah, because he could show up and be like, I'm trying to get a little something back. I'm trying to revive my thing. And Roman could be like, I don't know why you're coming here to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because you can't just do a year's worth of one bloodline storyline actively. You can passively keep it going, but I don't think you can have only bloodline matches moving forward. Like, I don't think you go to Jimmy next. And I think I do believe that you have to hire every Fatu that's alive and maybe start going down the whole line of them all, people we've never even heard of before. Maybe even guys who aren't even wrestlers. Get them in and have them move the storyline along, you know?
Yeah.
I'm 100% for the most in-depth Fatu NOIE bloodline storyline of all time. I want Jacob Fatu over here. I don't know how contracts work. I hear he's definitely under contract that's not breakable, but I don't fucking know the difference, and I'm booking him to be in this one.
You just stick Heyman on him. Heyman can get anyone out of a
Yeah.
contract.
Heyman don't give a fuck about contracts. Heyman, get over there and get that contract, dude.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who's like the baby face of SmackDown right now.
I mean, I think the closest we got is Big E, but I think it's too early for that.
Yeah. Because Big E still needs to, raise, get a couple rungs in the ladder, work his way up a little bit more.
You know what they could do, though, and it would make sense, I bet? By the time Survivor Series is over, Daniel Bryan will have been out for a couple weeks. You can have him come back after that, and you can have a program with Daniel Bryan being like, hey, fuck you, dude. And it'd probably be believable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, Elia, unless you have anything else, I'm going to go to Elia, Mysterio, and Murphy making out. Ow! A lot of tongue in this segment, dude. What do you think?
More tongue I've seen in a while. I'm so over this storyline. And it pisses me off that they moved it to Raw. And, from Raw to SmackDown. And they continued it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when the draft happened, they, when we first saw, who was it? Seth went first, right?
Yeah.
I was like, great, they're separated, it's done, move on.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just continued it on a different show.
Yeah, and then Murphy came over and like, this is weird, right? And after that, they're all like, and Ray and Dominic at the same time. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand to a degree. I'm not bothered by this. It does seem like adults doing adult things, and it does seem like maybe a questionable relationship for a young woman to be in. All the more reason for her family to be against it and potentially fight about it. So it makes sense. I don't think anything is inherently wrong here. I think that it's real life. I think it's also a little telenova, and I think that hey, sometimes you get storylines that are a bit romantical in nature, and I think that if every single storyline we ever saw was you have belt, I want belt, we'd get pretty bored of it pretty quick. So I do think the dynamics of human emotion should come into play from time to time, and this is one of those stories. And I'm only semi-interested, mostly because Buddy, Dominic, and Ray has already kind of been told it with Seth. If apart from that aspect, the idea of Aaliyah and Buddy and Ray and Dominic being a part of it, I'd like to see someone else in there or see them diverted towards a different direction so it's at least spread out a little bit. But it still seems hyper-focused, and I think to me that's the biggest boring nature of it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I just, like I said, I kind of check out on this point, and I want to be involved, and I want to like it, but it's, like I said, I thought it was over. And then just to beat a dead horse, I kind of check out at this point.
Yeah, I gotcha. Let's see. Kevin Owens defeated Dolph Ziggler, which was good. Here we go. Lars Sullivan had that interview with Corey Graves. What do you think about that?
It was kind of interesting just on the fact that he kind of told a little backstory that was kind of weird. But, like, I was just waiting for him to do, like, the old Bill Clinton, you know?
Yeah.
I did not have sexual relations with that yoga instructor.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that this was infinitely better than the last one he did. Remember he did that weird one in the ring?
Yeah.
Right before he got injured, he did one. I want to say it was with Charlie Caruso, and it was just super weird and awkward. And like, what the fuck is this? And he was like telling a poem or something. Like, I just remember getting like really off the handle and being like, this doesn't make any sense. This one seemed a lot better thought out. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was really interesting, I thought, in that regard. I think what hurt this one the most is it came on not far after Jay and Roman, who are fucking Hollywood next level acting right now. And then you have Lars Sullivan trying to do this, and he's doing a decent job. But I thought it was also interesting that his character already seems multidimensional, which is a little unusual for a character that we've. I mean, it usually take a while to get to that point, but the fact that he said like, "Oh, you want to call me a freak," and Corey was all like, "I can't do the things you can do with your freakish strength. Like your abilities are freakish," and for him to go like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh, that's why. That's why you're calling me a freak.
yeah." I hadn't considered that aspect of it. That's quite understandable now that you say it that way. Yeah, I thought that bit was a little funny because you just saw like, "Oh, well, I'll accept
Yeah.
that," and you're all like, "Dude, you just caught off guard right now by that?" Yeah, you have freakish strength. I hadn't considered that. That is true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, that was my bad. My bad. I've been out of line. I've been way out of line. So, but I didn't think he did a much better job this time. I thought it was hurt by that other thing, and I thought it was also hurt by people's general disinterest in him. But I do understand the value of someone who people honestly hate in the wrestling industry. So I don't know what that means moving forward, but I do think that I think part of the reason he's getting more and more time is the fact that everyone does so vocally hate him. I think this is wrestling. I think they're about the clicks, the views, the responses, the visceral reactions. And if you scream at the top of your lungs you hate someone, the wrestling industry is going to grin like the Grinch right at you and go, "Oh, really? You hate him?" And you go, "Yes, get him off my TV."
I can just see Vince in the back in his office.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's see. So there's only two other things we'll go over on SmackDown. We'll just talk about Raw briefly, I think. Bianca Belair, Billie Kay, and Natalya. Dude, their backstage segment had me cracking up.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting that. For one, I've not found Billie Kay's humor to be that funny to me, but I understand the value it has to others. I've not thought of Natalya as a comedically funny person. I think that she can be funny at times, watching her YouTube and stuff. But I think of her as a very serious kind of performer, and I do think that her promos are getting better as they go. And Bianca Belair, I think, is a bit loud of a personality that I was like, I don't know how these three women on the screen at one time is going to work. And for me, dude, it worked so well. I thought the three of them in that backstage segment with Adam Pearce was hysterical and really good, and actually had me excited for the idea of a match between the three of them.
Yeah. I mean, each one, like when Natalya mocked Bianca, did the clapping. Is this how you do it? I was laughing. I was like, all right, cool. Like, they were just talking shit back and forth, and
Yeah.
it set up for the match that was, if they would have announced this match prior, hey, we're gonna do this triple threat match, on tonight's show, I would have been like, why?
Yeah.
I could see maybe Natalya and Bianca, but then to throw Billie Kay in there, it was like, whatever. But then to see, the promo beforehand, I was like, this, this works. Let's go. Let's, see this out.
Yeah. Absolutely. I understand and agree with that. I felt like, yeah, if you had just announced the match cold, I would have been like, okay, I guess. But after seeing that segment, I was like, you know what? I do want to see the three of them work together. because I think what that showed me more than I thought it would. That was a heavy fucking pour. Let's see how this night goes now. This is gonna be good. Time to wake up. I think that it showed an actual level of chemistry between the three of them that I didn't just suspect. But then seeing them that way, the three of them bouncing off each other, and then thinking, well, I wonder how that turns up in the ring. And I liked the match. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
And I thought it was smart. You've got Natalya in there with relatively, I don't want to call them green because they've both been doing it a while, but they're newer and younger in this world at this moment, you know? And so I thought putting them with an anchor like Natalya to keep everyone safe and on pace and all that, I thought was super smart. And yeah, I think Natalya called that match. I think that's why it was a good match.
Yeah. You can call them rookies.
Yeah, I guess you can call them rookies. I'd rather call them rookies than green because I don't think that that's fair to them. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, both of them had, wrestling experience. It's not like they're, this is their second match ever.
Yeah.
But, Billie Kay, tag team competitor that, is now a single star. And
Yeah,
Bianca,
not done a
who's
lot. Not done a lot of singles.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Bianca, who's up on the main stage now.
Yeah, there's a different pressure
really
there.
A lot. Yeah.
There's definitely different pressure there. And I think that with Billie Kay, in regards to her being a tag worker, they didn't have a lot of singles matches as tags. I mean, it sounds like a silly thing to say, but when you think about like The Bar or New Day, you can think of a bunch of one-on-one matches that happen. Or even the Usos had a few one-on-one matches while they were a tag team with the other members of those tag teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Billie Kay and Peyton, it was always Peyton who had those one-on-ones when it happened. And there was even a long, I felt like the last half of their run on NXT, Billie Kay was not much more than a valet for Peyton after a while. So I do feel like that Peyton's got probably less ring work time frame under her belt than Peyton in that regard. And that's what I mean by rookie, not green. She's definitely got a lot of experience out there and in the ring in general. But in this type of environment, I feel like still very new in that regard.
Yes.
Dude, Sasha cut a promo on Bayley, and Bayley comes out and challenges her for a title rematch this Friday. I'm still saying that Thunder Rosa is going to come out and win the SmackDown Women's title. That's what I'm going with. That's what I've been sticking with. You were here for that. Yeah, you were here for that last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm still standing. I think the title's going to Thunder Rosa, top heel in the business after this. I thought it was a good segment. I thought it was decent. I don't know how I feel necessarily about them having a rematch so soon. I guess I just don't know. I guess this is where you put over Sasha as she can retain the championship. I mean, I loved Bayley's whole thing where it's all like, look, no one says you can't win them. We just all know you can't hold them. And I was all like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I like when she dropped. I like when she dropped the, everyone will be proud of your 13-day reign when I win it next week, and it's like, ooh,
so funny.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty funny. So I know a lot of people don't like Cornette, and I get that, but I do want to mention this about Cornette. I think that it's really easy to dismiss the negative things he says, and we talked about this briefly on the last show too. It's really easy to say, "Oh, he doesn't like what I like. He's old. He doesn't like the new stuff." Blah blah blah. I think the part that Cornette gets shit on the most, that people aren't paying attention to, is the things that he likes. I like listening to what he does actually like. And he did mention recently that Bayley he thought was such a good talker that she should go in after she's done wrestling and be a manager for other women. I thought that was a really cool thing. And this kind of promo highlighted, I think, that aspect to me too, where it's like, oh yeah, here's someone who can talk so good and dig the knife in a little bit that she probably could put over a next talent. You know?
Mm-hmm.
She's putting over Izzy left and right, that's for sure. Anything else you want to say about Sasha and Bayley?
No.
Do you think this match is too soon?
I do and I don't. Like, I think it's too soon. So I don't think it's gonna be like the payoff or we already had the payoff, but like the, hey, let's continue this. I think this might be the end for the moment, or where we
Yeah.
think the end is, and then they're going to continue it later. But I think for Sasha's sake, especially on how short all her other runs were, I mean, how many times did she like win one and then lose it like the next night on Raw?
Yeah, she's lost
With
all
the
of them on the next.
the automatic rematch clause. They're like, all right, well, we're doing this now, and then she
Yeah.
lost it, and it's like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
Especially against Charlotte, because it was just like she's just getting her reins under her belt. Like, how many can she get?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we thought about that too. We're like, is she just going to get a record for like holding the most championships but never retaining?
Yeah, and like I said, there's a little part of me that wants Sasha to lose
Yeah.
on Friday, just
I don't know how I feel about the match. Yeah.
because I'd almost want the rematch or her first defense to be something bigger. Like almost if she won it on a SmackDown and then defended it on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Excuse
feel
me.
like I'm really mixed on this one too. Every time I start thinking like, well, this is probably the right move, have it right away. I start thinking also like, I don't know. It just feels like I don't want this match yet. I feel like I want to hold off on this. But I also think that either way you go, I think you can still get to Mania
Mm-hmm.
with the right pause, like you said.
See, I think it would be cool is that if, like I said, there's part of me that wants Sasha to lose to them. There's a part of me that wants, uh, Bayley to get not actually injured, but kayfabe injured.
Yeah.
And then she returns at Rumble and then wins the Rumble. And then she's like, hey, I want you at WrestleMania.
Well, here's the other thing is I've heard a lot of people talk about, and this is the thing I think what complicates it for me, is that the story with Sasha isn't just getting the title; it's about retaining the title because she just doesn't retain them.
Mm-hmm.
That Sasha needs to retain it at like a Mania because she's also lost every Mania match she's ever been in. Bayley's won a few of them because she's just so damn good. What are you gonna do about it? I mean, like I don't know about your faves, but my faves win. Um, I think that having her retain now, I feel like complicates that because I agree with you. If Bayley loses this, then Bayley can cry after the match and be like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I beat you? Remember the whole Clash of Champions? Why is it always happening to me?
Yeah.
I mean, she could do a whole breakdown. She could do that and then just disappear. And then she could return in the Rumble and win it and be like, I'm back and I'm pissed. And I'm going to fuck you up and I'm taking your title at Mania. But then, like, Bayley kind of has to win it at Mania at that point, right?
Yeah.
But if you have Sasha retain, then it really kind of puts that foot on the neck of Bayley. I don't know. I feel like this is a complicated one, and I think I like that more than I like most of these other ones. There's so many different aspects of it that I could go to that just makes me kind of go like, well, that would be interesting,
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is that we're, I don't listen to a lot of the internet rumors or anything like that, but we're also jumping to the conclusion that either Sasha or Bayley's winning the Rumble and that's it.
There's a lot of people thinking
and
it's going to be Rhea.
eh,
Yeah.
I mean, the call up would be cool, but Rhea, and then what? Charlotte has the belt by then, and
Yep.
Rhea challenges Charlotte, flip flop it.
Yep.
Ugh. Ugh.
Not interested.
But anyways,
Not
what I was
interested.
gonna-
If Front Row's listening right now, not interested in that Charlotte garbage. Just throwing that out there.
Mhm. But what I was gonna say is, it would be cool if, Bayley gets it on SmackDown. Hey, I don't owe you another rematch. There's no rematch clause anymore. You were dumb enough to give it to me.
Yeah.
So, she's got the heel heat. And even if, you know, you don't have to injure Sasha or have her go away, but she gets the heel heat, and Bayley holds it for a few months, and then Sasha wins it at because you can even have Sasha as the last person in the Rumble, but then Sasha loses, but then Sasha wins it at what is it, Fastlane? Is that even a thing anymore? The one right before Rumble or
Mania. It's your Fastlane to Mania, dude. Hell yeah! If they take
Yeah.
away Fastlane, I'll be so fucking pissed, dude. You're gonna give me Payback and Great Balls of Fire, but not Fastlane. Not having it.
But anyways, you have Sasha winning at Fastlane, and then Bayley. All right, well, you and I, no holds barred, like whatever match at Mania, and then Sasha retains it at Mania.
I can see that. Get Bayley the title back before Mania so that Sasha can go and take it at Mania, so she can have that win.
No, Bayley gets the belt back, but Sasha gets the belt at Fastlane.
Oh.
And then the first rematch, or the first title defense is actually at Mania.
Oh, so if we had Bayley win this time, it's like, yeah, fuck you, dude, you can't retain. And then you get Sasha back building towards getting that title and retaining it, so she could win it at Fastlane and retain it at Mania. That would be a big moment. That would be good. I think you did it.
I did it. All right,
I think you
end of
did
show.
it.
Last call.
That's it. Last call. There's no way. No, that's it. That's the end of the show. That's the end of the series, man. We're done.
Yeah.
Woo!
We had a nice long run.
We did a good run of episode ones. That was it. You
Retiring
cracked
on
the
top.
code. Yeah. Retire undefeated on top. Episode 1 success. Only one 40-minute failure. But yeah, I think that's what you could do. Bayley gets it back now and rubs it in her face. No, I'm not giving you shit. Sasha can win the Rumble.
And you can have her, ducking
Or
and
no, not
dodging
even.
her.
She doesn't have to win the Rumble. She just has to get a shot at wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
We're assuming one of them's going to win Rumble, but you don't have to do that because then
let Sasha be in the last two with Rhea.
Yeah, if
and Rhea
they
just
want to do the Rhea
fucking
match,
chucks her.
Yeah,
Chucks her like Keith Lee throws Adam Cole. Just
fucking shot put, just spins around a couple times.
Yeah, just a shooting star that is Sasha.
It might still be in the Thunderdome, so they can edit it where she just keeps going up, and that's the end of the show.
Get one of good drone shots. She goes right over it.
Yeah. But
and you just hear that like
one of them. Yeah. Because if one of them wins the Rumble, it's a match at Mania. It's not a match beforehand.
Yeah, I think that's it, dude. I think that's exactly it. Sasha's in the final, loses the Rumble, gets a match by hell or high water for Fastlane, and then does the retention. I think you could also pull off Elimination Chamber, right? Because that's also like January or February.
Excuse me. It's in February, but I also thought that was because I was going to bring that up, but I think
that's too soon.
Well, it's too long too for her to defend it.
Yeah, for her to not defend it. Yeah, February to April, that's 2 months. Yeah. So I think you're right. Yeah, she does it in March, gets it, retains it at Mania, and I think she's in all those number one contenders matches too. She's in the Elimination Chamber, gets eliminated.
Barely loses all of them.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing,
dude, because you could get yourself a goddamn Kofi Mania for Sasha right there.
Oh yeah, Sasha Mania.
Yeah, Sasha Mania.
But and that's I've been begging WWE to do this for years, and they've never done it. Where they announce, the matches pretty much after Rumble, what's going to be at Mania, and Fastlane a lot of times is like, oh, if this person's still champion, they're going to face this person, and it's like, all right, yeah, no one's lost the belt and switched a matchup at Mania. And this would be a first cool time to do it, where Bayley's facing, somebody, and hey, this is going to be at Mania. If Bayley's the champion, or even if the other person's the champion, And because Bayley doesn't have to take the belt off of, or Sasha doesn't have to take the belt off of Bayley, but if, let's say it's Naomi is the first person that came to mind. Naomi's the champion at
Oh,
Fastlane. Sasha gets her match. It's Bayley versus Naomi at Mania, and then Sasha wins it at Fastlane. Now all of a sudden it's Bayley versus Sasha at Mania,
for the
and
retention.
it flips the card around.
Oof, that'd be so good. You keep Sasha and Bayley away from each other, except for Elimination Chamber type matches where they're in a group match, so it's not
Mm-hmm.
1-on-1. And you have Bayley lose that title again after taking it off Sasha this week to
To a
someone
third
like
person.
a returning Naomi or Carmella, and then you have at Fastlane Sasha takes the title off that person, but then Bayley would have to have won the Rumble, right?
Or Elimination Chamber,
Or Elimination Chamber.
which would be great because then it's like, well, I'm going after this, and like I said, it's Bayley versus not Naomi because she's on Raw, but Naomi versus Carmella,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, cool, because you'll have this build up between them, and then all of a sudden Sasha comes in there, flips the card upside down, and hey, it's now Bayley versus Sasha at Mania, and no one would have seen it coming like a swerve a month before
Yeah.
Mania.
Yeah, and then you even could have the promo where Bayley's like laughing, like, this is the best thing for me. You have to try to retain. You've never retained. I proved that last time.
Yeah.
I proved
Also,
it
the
just a couple months
retaining
ago.
and the WrestleMania records.
Yeah. I'm going to go there and take your title from you at WrestleMania, stack my Mania wins because that's what I do. And you're going to go ahead and lose that retention as I've proved time and time again that you can't do. And then fucking Sasha, loses because she's the worst. No, it's fine. I'm just playing. Just playing.
And then Sasha's career's over. She goes to AEW.
And then she is Star Wars forever. No.
Exactly.
I'm kidding on that, but I do think that's a tremendous way to actually do that is have, because also Bayley's defended against Carmella like once a year ago, so you can even have Bayley take the title off Sasha here, and then be in a feud with Carmella, who's now untouchable and been rebranded, have her take the title, and now Bayley, get injured and be out for a bit, pop back up at Rumble, win Rumble instead of going for Carmella, and she
Chamber.
keeps retaining. Go through Elimination Chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, they've always put these Mania cards together, like I said, soon after Rumble.
Yeah.
And they've never changed. And Fastlane, there's been a lot of times, I remember it was Dean versus Brock Lesnar in a street fight. Whoever won that, or I think Lesnar had the belt. Somebody was facing Triple H at Mania a few years ago, and it was a clean win for the other person. And it was like, I think it was Brock, and it was like, well, why didn't they just have Ambrose win? And then all of a sudden, you have a triple threat match at Mania that wasn't announced 2 months prior, but they never changed the cards. And I think if they changed the card for one, like even show the promo or the posters of Carmella versus Bayley, this and that,
100%.
blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden, hey, we have to change it. It's not that anymore.
Yeah, no, 100%. We could break it down month by month. We got Bayley wins now. We got Bayley loses at the next pay-per-view. Survivor Series is what it is. What's after Survivor Series? November, December.
Whatever's in December. Normally TLC, right?
I think it's TLC. So Bayley loses at TLC, and then January comes around.
At Rumble. She can even hold it for a while. Loses it at Rumble.
But then she got to enter Rumble. I don't want another Becky incident where Becky had to weasel herself in.
But Bayley could win the Elimination Chamber because it wasn't last Elimination Chamber for the number one contender spot.
Maybe. So yeah, I guess you could do that. Keep Bayley and Sasha out of the Rumble to keep people guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Let Rhea and Charlotte do their garbage storyline to the side. I'm just kidding. But so you'd have Bayley lose it at Rumble, and then get to Elimination Chamber where she can win a number one contender spot against the person that she lost it to, which would be like a Carmella. That's who we're going with. We want Carmella to be champion. And then at Fastlane, you have Sasha beat Carmella for the title, and now at Mania, you have Sasha versus Bayley, and Bayley will be going up against Sasha for her first successful retention at a Mania of all places.
Mhm.
Pressure's on. Yeah, I think that's 100% how you do it.
Yeah.
I think everybody wins in that. Oh, I got fucking goosebumps right now. That's the way we do it. We just did it. Hey, Bruce Pritchard, I know you're watching. You're one of our 3 viewers that we get every week.
It's obvious.
Obviously. Yeah, dude, I think that'd be amazing. And then you have Sasha win at Mania. She retains. Oh, God. I don't know how you clip this to have it succinct enough to share out to the world. You guys got to tell your friends that we just unlocked the entire key to Sasha Bayley at Mania and how that shit happens.
Got the game genie.
We just fucking game genied it. You guys can have your Rhea Charlotte too. We can have our Sasha Bayley at Mania, and we can have the retention intact, the streak intact. We get Carmella with another championship run for a little bit. And I'm sorry, Carmella, you'll win it back again down the line. You're good. But for the purposes of the story, we need you to lose it.
Yeah. You just the pawn until you can become a bigger piece after Mania.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Ugh, dude, that's so good. Well, I guess Raw happened after that.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, now we go to Raw. And
Raw, I know people describe things sometimes as a wet fart because it's supposed to be like a bad thing, but like this was like a clumpy fart. Like it's just time to go to bed now. It's time to just wash up and go to bed early. But not like a shart's like a wet fart. But this is like you're farting and like there's debris.
Shart is debris.
It's not just debris. Well, I guess it could be at least a discharge. I feel like how it's got to be the kind of thing where it's all like, I think I farted. I might be sitting on something though, and you check the couch and you're like, I'm not sitting on anything, and you sit back down and you go, I'm definitely sitting on something, and then you go, well, I know it's only 3 p.m, but the day is done.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense what I'm saying here?
Yes. I've never experienced it, but yes.
Oh, my ass. Well,
yeah. Your ass.
Yeah. I can neither conform nor deny that I understand exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's start with how they shit the bed right at the beginning. And I know we try to be positive about stuff, and I swear to you, I try to be positive about so much stuff here, and I'm constantly harping at the dudes after the show, being like, I think we got maybe a little too negative. This is a hard one to defend. You started out with Randy Orton cutting a tremendous promo, doing his thing. He gets interrupted by Alexa Bliss, who is other level right now. I feel like, I think I said it on the show once. I don't know if I did or if I just said it to the producer, but I feel like a lot of times we try to figure out who the next star is to go to Hollywood and who's going to go to Hollywood and do stuff and how do wrestlers move on to Hollywood. And I feel like right now we have a crew with Roman and Jay and Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton who are trying to figure out how do we bring Hollywood to us? How do we become Hollywood? And I feel like those 5 people are on that level of showmanship. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%.
Same time, I do think that Sasha and Bayley are cutting some of the best promos that are going on right now in that regard. And I do think there's other tremendous promos that are happening. I feel like watching Randy, Wyatt, Bliss, Jay, Roman, Heyman feels a lot like I'm watching a movie. Which, give and take. I understand some people don't like that. I understand that's a complaint on some people's part that it feels like too much show, too much acting, this and that. But I feel like they're so on it right now that to me, I love watching a little bit of Hollywood in my wrestling. With that in mind, you get Alexa coming out who does. I can't even describe how good it was what she was doing, but she does it The music cuts, it goes all red, and you think Bray Wyatt's going to come out, and then boom, what whoopee cushion comes out to do his weak-ass little kick, but Drew McIntyre.
You shit the bed, WWE.
You Jackson Pollocked my rug.
Mm-hmm.
Squatted on top of my fur rug and muddy whoopee cushioned it. And I can't get that out of a shag carpet, and I still have shag carpets because I like those.
Because I like them.
I like them. They're soft, fuzzy. It's like you're cuddling a polar bear. Who's never wanted to do that? You know what I mean?
Without the claws.
Yeah. And then, who's got to stick their fucking nothing to do with this shit into the story about Miz and Morrison? So they try to fucking cash in on Orton, and Drew McIntyre goes, oh, we're going to let them start the cash in, and then I'm going to kick their fucking nards in. And he does. And then he's like the guardian angel to Randy Orton, and I don't give a shit to see Miz and Drew ever interact. I don't give a shit to see Drew trying to protect. Why would Drew try to protect Randy to begin with? If you're trying to get your title back, why wouldn't you let a pipsqueak like Miz take it and just fucking rip it out of his hands after that? And then you know what? Once you're the champion again, you can beat all the shit you want out of Randy Orton. But if the championship means more to you, why are you protecting Orton? Go ahead, say what you're going to say, man.
No, 100%. Why let the stronger competitor keep it than, taking candy from a baby with the Miz?
Yes. Randy Orton
like
is a 14-time champion. Miz is a one-time champion 10 years ago. On paper, I'd rather go up against Miz than Orton.
Singular.
Singular. Yeah.
But, yeah, I didn't get that either. Because I was like, oh, cool. I didn't say cool because I thought it was all stupid. But I was like, oh, Miz is going to win the championship here. And then Drew's going to take it off of him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Drew goes in there and, beats him up. And the only one taking the championship away from Orton is me. And I'm like, God. Like, A, get off my screen. I'm done with you. B,
yeah.
Like, I hope Orton retains even more now.
I know, dude. And here's the thing. I'm going to say it again because I want to just put out that disclaimer. This isn't me saying I think Drew is terrible because I don't. I think he's very skilled. I think he's a tremendous wrestler. I think he's a very hard worker. I think he's probably beloved in the back from what I can tell. I think there's a lot of great things about Drew McIntyre, the wrestler and the person and the performer. The thing is this iteration of the character is easy to hate and root against.
Yes.
I think Drew is one of the best heels in the business right now. I cannot wait for him to get his ass kicked. And the thing is, I want to see him get his ass kicked. This isn't go away nothing. This isn't like, hey, I never want to see Drew on my TV. I never want to see him in a match. No, I want to see him in the match. I want to see him in a match every week. And I want to see him lose. And he keeps not losing. And I'm going to keep watching till he loses because I want to see him lose. I'm rooting against him because of the way this character is spelled out. Protecting Randy Orton because your ego gets in the way of your fucking dreams, of your fucking goals. You're going to let your sense of self get in the way of that. I'm going to be the one to take it off Randy. Mm-hmm. How much more egotistical can you be? You know what I mean? We're pretending 100%. That Randy and Miz are the heels here, but they're not. Go ahead.
No, and I was going to say that, we saw Drew McIntyre like 38 times on TV, on Monday, yesterday. And the one time I was kind of excited about something is his little promo with Sheamus.
Yes.
And the Celtic Connection. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, do that.
I was thrilled with that,
together,
dude.
Yeah. I was like, yes, there you go. Doing the Daniel Bryan, yes movement. Like, yes, there you go. And then nothing. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I think the idea of teaming up Drew and Sheamus on some level is money. Dude, I think Sheamus is so good. And his promo in that one was so good. Sheamus, a friend of the show, he said he would have a drink with us. We're waiting. It'll happen. I'll give it time. I'm patient.
We'll have a drink over a Liverpool and City match. Once
Yes,
City
Liverpool
destroys
versus City.
Liverpool.
Which one's his team?
Liverpool.
Liverpool. But you're like the woman City, right?
The Man City.
When Man City comes around.
Yeah.
I'll probably be rooting for Liverpool on that one. If we all have a drink with Sheamus at the bar, I want to be like, yeah, dude, I don't know what he's talking about, but I've got my Liverpool jersey on, but it's going to be like a white shirt with like a painting of an actual human liver on it with like a swimming pool beneath it. I'm like, I've got my Liverpool jersey on right now
In a
because I'm authentic.
floaty.
Yeah.
A liver in a floaty just in the pool.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
I heard that.
And then
I heard that from the other room.
Okay, but maybe the mic didn't pick it up. There's a good chance the mic didn't pick it up. I don't know which mic we're using right now. The mic may have picked it up.
And then, of course, if we're at the bar, you're going to have your phone out and just hit him. Just, he's pissing you off. He's rooting against you. Just hit Kevlar. He deserves it.
Just punch him! Dude, can you imagine the smile with you missing a tooth while Sheamus got his arm around you? Best picture ever. Also, I may have rawed my pants.
Yeah. Speaking
What?
of shirts.
I don't even know which underwears these are. These might be disposable anyways. No, these
They
are
might
good
be
ones.
yours.
Yeah, they could be anyone's. Everyone's tuning in. They're very curious about what's happening on our show right now. There's literally nothing happening in the world right now that anybody's probably good at.
Yeah. We are the center of the universe right now.
All that to say, also, what a fucking fart in the face of Bray. Which is what I was going for in that demonstration. Like, you know what I mean? To have the Bray stuff, like, Bray should be getting in the way of Drew and Randy. I think that Bray should be in a feud with Drew, trying to get to Randy. Drew should be getting, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I don't fucking know. They're pushing Drew down our face so much. This feels a lot like a Roman thing again. And I think it's going to backfire. But at the same time, I want to see him lose. I want to see him in fights. I want Drew there doing stuff. But I feel like that the amount we're seeing him, as often as we're seeing him, and as smug and egotistical as his character is, I want to see that dude fucking humbled, like the Sheik might say. Face Seth? Yeah, when Seth was a face, he just came off as kind of a Poindexter, though, right? It was a little bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like he just came off as like a little campy. Hey guys, happy to be here. I was like, okay, that doesn't feel like your authentic self. But maybe it is.
Yeah,
maybe he's just happy to be here.
But face Seth wasn't a heel.
Yeah.
Drew's a heel. Everything he says, everything he does, that's heel shit. And it's funny how similar his character is to Sheamus. And that's why when, they were talking, they did that promo, I was like, perfect. This is your lane. This is where you need to be. And, well, I'm just dealing with Randy, I don't got time for that. Survivor Series this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's see. There were a couple things that I did really like in Raw. I really liked Bray and Alexa Bliss in the Funhouse. I thought that weird fruit gusher bit that she had going on was a little. I didn't know what to make of it, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't slightly disappointed that when she turned around to look at Nikki during that promo, that she didn't have more going on than just the eyes. I was expecting a little more extreme makeup in some way.
Yes, I was a little disappointed in that as well, because she turns around and
it feels big.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Like the way Nikki reacted was like Alexa has no face, like she's a ghost, or it's not even Alexa, and it was like holy shit. And then you just see her eyes, and it was like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was like we've seen that
like
twice.
you said that.
How are you shocked?
Yeah. This isn't another, it wasn't a big reveal like it was made out to be, and you didn't need the full face makeup or anything like that. Just something besides the eyes.
Even if she had like lipstick that was like running down one side of her face or something, you'd have been like, oh fuck, she's like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could have done the whole
Or
Chelsea
even
Green shit
the
before
gush.
Chelsea Green was in. But what was it?
I was gonna say, even she could still have the gusher like coming down her chin.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
something
and
like that. I was expecting
yeah,
something a little bit bigger. Now, I think that they both played it up very well. And like I said, I think they're both next level, or I think that Alexa's next level right now. And I think Nikki did an awesome job. It just seemed like a little bit of a letdown in the reveal. Like I was like, as soon as it was just showing her back and Nikki's talking, I was like, oh shit, here we go. We're gonna see the mask. We're gonna see her mask.
mm-hmm.
She's gonna have crazy
Yeah,
fucking makeup or some nutty mask. And she turned around and it was like, oh, it's the eyes again. This
yeah,
is the third time we've seen those eyes like that.
yeah.
We get it.
Like
But I thought
even if
a
they
little bit
like,
more.
even if they did like, just like like blackened teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Like she turns around and she's got this weird smile. It's not makeup, like a makeup smile, but it's just her like with these weird, blackish teeth and, like,
Yeah.
holy
Something.
shit, what the fuck, But yeah, I don't know. Unless,
Yeah.
unless the only thing that got me with that too is unless they were revealing, because we've only seen the eyes in the funhouse, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's the eyes outside of the funhouse.
Okay. Maybe.
Because as many baby steps as they've taken with this,
That's
maybe
true.
that's it. Just the eyes are now changed on the outside of the funhouse in the real world or
Yeah.
whatever.
And I did like her having the play and pain gloves with the Randy segment. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her whole interaction with Rambling Rabbit and stuff too. Like I liked the funhouse thing. Um, yeah, I think that's all I can say about that. Jeff Hardy and
Yeah.
Elias and Guitar on a pole match. I didn't think was a bad match. I thought it was decent, but I don't know what we're doing with it moving forward.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a pay-per-view match on Raw. Like this should have
Kinda,
been the
yeah.
payoff between them, and it was like, all right, we're gonna do this, and it was like you said, a good match. It was interesting. Uh-oh.
No.
It's all good. Keep it
Uh-oh.
going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Uh-oh. But
Let's
here
go
comes the
November.
here comes the Marsh Express. Toot, toot.
I don't even know what mic we're using right now. I can't even like run to the bathroom and pretend it's not happening.
Oh my.
Cause I'll run and she's gonna be like, "You're still on the mic." I want you to do this. This is what I want from you, Kevlar. I want you to listen to me. Listen to me. I'm directing you. I'm gonna need you to tell me what you thought about this match being a payoff match early, where you would have liked it, and then you can go into what you thought about the women's tag match after that, which was Nia and Shayna defeating Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. I want to know what you thought about that match after this thing you're about to say, okay?
Do you
You're
want
going to
me to
need to
talk
mute me. What?
as fast as the sloth in Zootopia? So do you want me to talk as slow as the sloth in Zootopia?
Either one.
What?
Keep it going.
Yeah, uh-oh. Waiting for a glass to shatter as he's getting out. But what was I gonna say? I just lost it. I got sidetracked by the by all the shit talk. But anyways, yeah, so Jeff Hardy and Elias, like it feels like it should have been a payoff match at a pay-per-view. It was, it was a great match. It just didn't make sense where they placed it because this is that him in the background? But it should have, like I said, it should have been at a pay-per-view, and just the placement of this on Raw was, it was weird. It was awkward. It felt like this should be the end of the story, and this is clearly not. That's how I felt about it. And then the women's tag match, I thought it was cool. I was hoping Lana would interfere and the belts would change hands. But then you had this weird, like, Lana interfered, but it didn't work. And, for whatever reason, Raw has the women's and the men's tag teams or Survivor Series teams just fighting against each other, just beating each other up. They're at odds, and to me, it just, it doesn't make sense on why you would do that to both teams.
It seemed a little weird. It seemed a little weird for sure.
You back?
Yeah. I felt like Lana was going to have a bigger impact too. This match, I mean, I think Nia and Shayna make a good tag team. I was really excited about Mandy and Dana being in a tag team. I felt like Lana being involved, this particular match seemed so heavily overproduced and spot heavy that it got super sloppy in the second half. Everyone was trying to be exactly where they needed to be to do this exact little bit that they had to do, and it got really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate for like 5 women who are pretty decent at what they do, to say the least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and yeah, the leading up to the ending, it was really sloppy, and
Yes.
it just, I don't understand, why you, just going back to the beginning, why you would even book that. Like, why would you book the 2 tag teams against each other? And I don't know if you heard me, but I said,
and
they
not
have
turn
the
the titles.
Yeah. Well, and then, you have the women's Survivor Series team and the men's Survivor Series team just beating each other up.
Yeah.
You guys are supposed to be together. You're supposed to be on the same page. And, if this was, a fight, SmackDown's looking pretty good right now.
Do you think, now that you bring it up from that regard, because I also really liked the AJ segment. I did like all that stuff. I thought I think AJ's so funny, dude. He's so good at this stuff. And I thought the match that those guys had, Braun and Keith and who was the third person in that match?
Sheamus.
The 3 of them, I thought, did a great job in that match. We had the Strowman Express. Choo choo.
Toot toot.
Yeah. Toot toot.
The only thing that I didn't like about this was the beginning of it. The promo was good, but I wanted Adam Pearce to come out and say, yes, we're going to have Sheamus versus Keith Lee versus Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles. And the winner of the match, if Strowman wins, he's in the team. He's on the team. But if whoever wins it will also become the team captain.
Yeah.
Unless they're, building towards the team captain later, fine. But the other thing I didn't like was you have Sheamus and Keith Lee versus Braun. If Braun wins, he's a part of the team. I feel like it kind of undermined Keith Lee and Sheamus.
Why? They both had to win matches to get in.
Yeah, but now Braun Strowman beat 2 of his teammates, and and that's where all this turmoil is going.
Yeah, but in a triple threat, so it's not a one-on-one. It's not like he beat both of them in a gauntlet style outing. It does show that, like, hey, you're not on the team unless you're better than us, and we don't think you are. And him being like, yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Look, see, I'm better than both of you guys, into a regard.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? Producer's trying to.
You were starting to ask a question, and then you stopped.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to it.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know what the question was.
I know, because I hadn't asked it yet because I was gonna let Kevlar say his thing. Okay. Why am I getting yelled at? I need another drink.
Clearly.
No, remember November. No, remember November. I hope Don Stugotz is listening. But what the hell do I know? That's his thing. I'm gonna,
You
have to, I'm
know,
gonna have to design him. I'm gonna have to design him a T-shirt as an apology. I feel like. Um,
but the thing I think would have been cool is that if, because Adam Pearce said, "Hey, we haven't found anyone willing to challenge Braun for a spot on the team."
yeah,
And to me, it's like, okay, well, you guys still don't have a fifth member. So whoever this fifth member is scared of Braun, clearly.
yeah.
Because he doesn't even want, or even the two people that try and fight for the fifth spot are scared of Braun. So whoever wins is, whatever. But I would have, I thought it would have been cool. This would have been a good spot for a jobber. Because this Raw just felt like such filler. Everything was filler. And I think it would have been great if they're like, hey, we couldn't find anyone except for this guy. And it's, I'm trying to think of the
No.
best. I know. I know. He looks like a jobber now. But who was that dude, Boston
Brooklyn
Booger
Brawler?
or whatever? Brooklyn Brawler, that's who I'm thinking of. Boston
Dude,
Brooklyn, what's the difference?
I didn't tell you.
But-
Brooklyn Brawler followed me on Instagram, or not Instagram, on Twitter, like 2 weeks ago, out of nowhere.
Oh, really?
And it's the real
Yeah,
dude.
Like
If
an
he's
RKO,
listening now,
just out of
dude,
nowhere.
we are huge fans. And I was telling my producer all about you and what you meant to the business to me right after it happened. If you're listening, thank you so much for the follow, dude. It was incredible. But yeah, I didn't tweet at him. I didn't tag him in anything. Just all of a sudden, I get this notification. Brooklyn Brawler followed you on like my lunch hour. And I was like, what? I was just listening to a podcast. I just want to throw that out there in case he's listening,
like
because
a
you never know
Brooklyn-
who's listening. In case he's listening, thank you, dude. We love you. Go ahead.
Yes.
Friend of the
But
show.
I was just gonna say, like number one fan, but like a Brooklyn Brawler type of
Yeah.
God dang it,
Jobber
not a
type.
scab, what the jobber, there you
Yeah.
go.
Like an Ellsworth
And
type.
they're like, yeah, so they have Braun there with this jobber, and Braun's like, psyching himself up, ready for the match. And all of a sudden, the bell rings, and the jobber's just like, nope, not gonna do it, and just runs off.
You know who could do that really well
Counted out.
and probably still not look like a jobber, but have recognition enough to have fun with it? You could do like a fucking Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
Because
I
he's
think
so
that'd be
much smaller, he
hilarious.
could come out like all excited and happy and
Yeah, I'm gonna be
And
on
just
the
be like-
Raw Survivor Series team.
Yeah.
I got this shot, and then you're facing Braun, and then exactly, and then nope, I'm not gonna do it. And then
Yeah.
Drake just runs off, jumps over, they count him out, and then Braun's on the team
yeah, that'd be
instead
good.
of Braun beating up his two
Oh,
teammates
yeah.
now,
I mean,
and then creating all sorts of havoc.
but I think, and here was my question that producer was so aggravatingly pushy about me asking. The producer here, did you?
It's not what I sound like.
No one said this is what you sound like. The producer here.
We got Kenny
Damn
Omega in
you.
the studio.
Kenny Omega showed up. So here's what I'm wondering. Are they doing this because are we going to see for the first time that I can remember, and correct me if I'm wrong because it's no Remember November. Do you think we're going to have SmackDown actually win the Survivor Series? Because Raw has won every single one since the brand split.
Yes.
You think this is where SmackDown does it because they're Fox?
Yes.
I think so
You
too.
know,
And I think this is how they
I-
build that, is I think they build turmoil within the team to start going like, oh, maybe they have, quote, bigger stars, but they don't have a fucking team unit.
Yeah. No, I definitely think this is the year, and I don't want to say, yes, this is the year SmackDown's going to win, because we don't even know the full lineups.
Yeah, but
You
you
know,
heard it here
but-
first. That's kind of our thing.
No, exactly. But I can definitely see, especially how they're trying to start this feud between Braun and Keith Lee, where they eliminate themselves.
Oh, I could see that. I mean, on the SmackDown team, let's
they're
see. Hold on. We got Sheamus, Keith Lee, AJ, and Braun, and then on
that's the Raw team.
SmackDown we got Kevin Owens.
Sammy.
Sammy's
Jay.
not on the team.
Oh, sorry.
Who was it?
Jay. That's it. Jay. Just KO and Jay. That's it right now.
KO and Jay. That's all we got.
That's all we have right now.
Something's not right. Something's not right here. And then for the women's teams on Raw, we have Shayna, Nia, Mandy, Dana, and Lana. The women's team on SmackDown is who? Bianca?
Bianca, and I want to say that might even be it too,
Oh,
because they haven't announced anyone
yeah.
really.
This isn't great yet.
Smack,
But
SmackDown was drawing it out, whereas Raw's not. Raw's like, yep.
but
there's
you
our
know what?
cards.
I was gonna bring that up now that you bring it up. Every year it's that way. Remember, every year we say, how come SmackDown has qualifying matches for their Survivor Series team every time, and the Raw team is almost exclusively just selected?
Yeah.
We've complained about that the past like 3 years. Like, oh, so Raw that has 3 fucking hours has to just say, here's our 5-person team. We're moving on to be on our stories that we don't know where they're going yet. And on SmackDown, they go, okay, our next 2 hours are going to be devoted to figuring out who's going to be on the team. And you're like, what? Oh, you know what we didn't talk about in Raw? I'm going to throw it at you real fast. Retribution did their whole thing with Tucky and Ricochet got that win, and I thought that was cool. Retribution's I can't tell if they're trying to recruit or not anybody there, but Retribution's had a couple online promo things I gotta send you. One of them was Mustafa Ali saying, imagine being judged by your name before people even give you a chance. And imagine being judged by your appearance and being told you're not worth it. And he goes, imagine I'm leading a group of people where I put ridiculous masks on them and give them stupid names so they can understand how Mustafa Ali feels when he's judged by his name and his looks. And you're like, oh!
Too bad they don't. Too bad they don't put anything like that out on TV.
Why did you not have time for that on TV? I'm gonna send you that clip, dude, because I fucking loved it. So here's our Retribution shout out for the minute, because we're Mace Mob here. I couldn't believe the segment they had there. They had that one. They had another one with Mustafa Ali and Sarah Schreiber, and the rest of Retribution were beating up shit. And they're like, "We're here to wreak havoc. We're gonna do this and that." There is such a disconnect between what's happening to Retribution online and what's happening to Retribution on TV. That team is so in depth online, and on TV, it's just this group of people. It's just like a group of jobbers coming out and coming and going. Like, what the hell? That promo that Mustafa Ali cut. Look, I know some people were saying that the New Day segment, which we didn't even talk about, but I fucking loved it. New Day and Hurt Business going back and forth. I fucking loved every second of it. I was laughing hysterically. And some people were saying this segment was 5 minutes too long. And I said when I read that, where the fuck do you want that 5 minutes to go? Do you want to go to more Nia and Lana? Did you want that 5 minutes to go somewhere else? This is where I would have put that 5 minutes. If you thought that segment went too long, then you should have given Mustafa Ali 5 more minutes to say that segment. Producer had something she wanted to say.
And the stuff that was not recorded, I don't know, the commercial stuff that MVP was saying.
Oh my God, dude. So I was in the Thunderdome. Thundered up! Thundered up! VIP, because I'm Thunderdome VIP, dude. Thunderdome! That's kind of my thing. Every Raw. Kevlar's just probably nodding his head like, oh, this guy.
This guy.
MVP, while he was on commentary during the commercial breaks, was not. He was unfiltered. So the match was going on with the New Day and Hurt Business, and Shelton Benjamin started doing something, and I think it was Byron or Phillips said something like, "Oh, this is really good what he's doing here," and then MVP just goes, "That's that veteran shit right there. This guy knows what to do," and I was like, "Whoa, on commentary." And then it was Xavier Woods in the ring, and then MVP started ragging on Xavier Woods, talking about his Jerry curl, and then started talking about how Byron Saxton probably had a Jerry curl. And then he was just talking about Xavier Woods' Jerry curl juice. And I was all like, okay, I don't find this offensive, but I do understand how this could feel risque. And I think it's hysterical. This is what's happening in the Thunderdome and not what's happening on TV. I just want to throw that out there.
I wonder what Xavier would have said back. That was my kind of like, man, I wish he could hear this.
But that's just it. Is half the time they can hear the shit in the commentary. That's my favorite bit about Bayley matches is she's listening to the commentary. So when they say something, she turns around and responds to them. Like, and even in Hell in a Cell, you saw it. Michael Cole or Corey Graves said something like, I wonder if this is all she's got. And she's like, it's not all I got. Like, immediately yells back at them. I hear you, idiots. But
yeah, they're in an empty arena. They could hear the commentators, 15 feet away.
Mm-hmm. That's how the Bayley versus Michael Cole rivalry has started. The back and forth on that. And if we don't get Sasha Bayley at Mania, it's got to be Bayley Michael Cole, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
clearly.
Okay. Obviously, right? Yeah. Oh shit! This New Day, her business thing was on Raw. I'm on the wrong page. I'm on Raw. We're talking about Raw. Oh my god, dude. So I just talked about a bunch of stuff that happened on Raw, like I didn't talk about it on the segment before. But this all happened on Raw, dude. That's a lot to unpack. What do you think about Retribution? What do you think about New Day? What do you think about the Hurt Business? Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, the New Day Hurt Business stuff was great. Retribution still just, I was almost hoping that Ricochet was going to be like, hey, I'm going to join you. Like, he had this awesome run to start his main roster run, and he's just been nothing since, basically. What was it last year when they separated him and Aleister Black? It seems like after that, neither of them really have done anything. And I think it would have been cool if Ricochet joined Retribution.
Yes.
Like they surround him and they're about to jump on him. Like, he's like, hey, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then they kind of look at him and he's like, I'm with you guys. I'm sick of this shit too. Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm sending you the promo. You don't have to watch it right now, but you got to watch it tonight.
Just pick up my phone for the next 2 minutes.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Keep it down. I'm listening to this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm still I don't want it to get out of control like the NWO, but I want the Hurt Business and the Retribution to get more than 5 members each.
Yes.
And a lot of underutilized talent that's out there. You can have Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, Mojo, come up and be like, hey, I want to join. I'm with you guys.
Yeah. I don't understand why Mojo's not a part of the Retribution yet. I just don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was great, and I thought New Day was hysterical. I thought they were so good. You can give those guys mic forever, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh man, I feel like I threw a whole bunch out at you at once, being like, "Oh, we didn't talk about this, and we didn't talk about this," and then I was like, "Oh, it's because that's the literal topic we're on."
Yeah,
I feel. Yeah, and you're like, "Dude, fucking breathe, dude."
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just looking at it. So that was Retribution and Hurt Business. Yeah, I guess that was kind of it. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you said it yourself. Tucker's kind of like been remade to look a lot more like a generic Avatar, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're
Looks
like, here, grease your hair back, black pants, put your name on your butt like it's from Victoria's Secret, and go out there and lose.
Juicy.
Yeah. Yeah, the producer, when we were watching it, juicy. The producer is all like, man, this jobber looks a lot like Tucker almost. And I was like, well, and then the name on the bottom comes across as Tucker, and she's like, oh. And I was all like,
No.
what? You don't know that he's going to lose. Yeah,
Like
them's
100%.
losing pants right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. When I saw him with a letter missing, that'd been great.
Yeah.
But when I
Peeling
saw him,
down,
I thought he was a jobber too.
wilted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Me
thought he was
too.
a jobber, and I was like Ricochet versus Joe Schmo over there, and then they're like Tucker, and it's like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, when Ricochet came out, I was like, sweet, it's Ricochet. And it came out, I was like, oh, someone's already in the ring. That dude's a jobber. And then I looked over and I was all like, that's Tucker in better shape. What the fuck just happened? He's in better shape and worse clothes.
Yeah. Somehow he got worse clothes.
Yeah.
What he was wearing.
Yeah, dude, I've never liked the Heavy Machinery outfits, but I've enjoyed Heavy Machinery quite a bit. He's got that slick back hair. Do you think Tucker could be the next disciple for Seth Rollins? Or is it a different show? It's a different show, man.
Yeah.
I was trying to do something to get the Mysterio thing split up. It didn't work.
I'm hearing a lot of conflicting audio. This is delayed. You're
Yes.
live, so I'm not really listening.
I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you said my name.
I agree with the concept of conflicting audio right now.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all good. I was kind of like looking to the side, and the producer's like, "I'm hearing conflicting audio." Okay. Like, I don't understand what's happening with the Bobby Lashley R-Truth stuff, the Gulak stuff on top of it. I just wasn't feeling it. And then it ended with Miz and Morrison against what's his name, Drew McIntyre, I think. And that could have that 20 minutes. It took Drew McIntyre 20 minutes to beat Morrison and Miz, and 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes to beat Brock fucking Lesnar. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Well, real quick, going back to the whole R-Truth Bobby Lashley thing. I didn't understand it at all. Oh shit! That was a 3.7 on the Richter scale.
I moved forward. It was a mistake.
But
to play through.
Reminded me of like Wayne's World. Car. Game on. All right, so
my favorite part is the producers. The delay. The delay, dude. Because I do something and in a second, like a couple seconds later, she goes, "Oh."
like an aftershock.
Yeah. It's an aftershock every time. Oh yeah.
That should be your new wrestler name, Aftershock.
Aftershock. Hell yeah, dude.
But where was I? Oh, so Bobby Lashley.
Go ahead, tell me Bobby Lashley.
He beats up R-Truth. Fine. Drew Gulak tries to get into the ring and steal the 24/7 title. He beats him up and then puts Gulak over R-Truth. And I was like, why doesn't Lashley just become 2 belts Lashley and take the 24/7 belt too?
Dude, I thought we were going to get what I've been saying since the 24/7 title started, was a mean motherfucker taking that 24/7 title and making it a hardcore title by saying, "Come at me." Remember when I wanted Aleister Black to have the 24/7 title and change the whole aspect of it? No one wanted to challenge him. He would stand in the ring and say, "Come to me," because other people wouldn't chase him for it. Because if you're chasing a dude for the title because you think you can take it off him, it's because you think he will fucking lose over and over again. Anyone holding that title and being chased is undermined as a talent. And I think that's a shame for R-Truth. I think it's a shame for Gulak. This title is not only a joke, it's representative of your lack of ability to win. I think with someone like Bobby Lashley stripping it off of them like he did, he could have held it and been like, yeah, I'm ready 24/7. What are you going to do about it? I think it would bring a legitimacy to that title, which would be refreshing and amazing. And I think then you could get a really good one-on-one of R-Truth and Bobby Lashley. It could be fucking incredible. You know what I mean? Because it's there.
Or even Retribution, since they have the Hurt Business, in their crosshairs or vice versa. And, Bobby Lashley has a match, and then, they either interfere in the U.S. title match or, afterwards, like, hey, we're going to steal this from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I thought it was weird. But,
hey,
yeah,
this came through the bump right now. Maven's making his return to WWE.
Oh, yeah, Tough Enough Maven?
Yeah, Tough Enough Maven. I mean, right now, he's just showing up on the bump to talk about Undertaker. But who knows if that leads into something else? You never know with that kind of thing. Morrison made his debut back at the bump, so you never know. But just throwing that out there. You heard it here first. If you didn't hear somewhere else first, in which case you heard it here second. But it's only our first episode, so second take is still a pretty good take.
Yes.
But
then going to Drew and the handicap match, like no interest in it at all. Like it was playing, and I'm like, I even like looked at the time remaining, and I was like, 20 minutes. I was like, is there another match? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there and I'm, doing something on my phone, and it's playing in the background, and check the timer again. It's 15 minutes, and I'm like, what? And just no interest. How could this close out Raw? And 100%, this is the reason why their third hour got such low ratings.
I'll tell you, if they think for one fucking second that opening the show with Steve Austin getting in the face of Vince McMahon, leading to Steve Austin versus Triple H in the main event, is the same thing as Drew McIntyre interrupting Randy Orton and leading to a handicap Miz and Morrison versus Drew McIntyre, you're fucking out of your mind. No one's staying tuned for more Drew McIntyre. We've had enough. You know what I mean? And it's a jobber match. The Miz and Morrison have booked like jobbers since they showed the fuck up. It's the most embarrassing thing for Morrison to be tag teamed with Miz and be constantly losing this way. So you booked the main event to be a jobber match with your former champion to do what? Of course no one's watching that shit. Put Drew against anyone else and you would have had more viewers. That's my take.
Yes. Well, and the other thing is, the only reason why I didn't turn it off is because they've intertwined the Fiend with it. So I was like, well, is the Fiend making an appearance? What's going on, with that? And it's sad, once again, just going back to the whole Drew picture, he is the new Roman, like 100%. Yes. They're forcing everyone to be with him, to push him up, and now they have arguably the biggest storyline in The Fiend and Alexa Bliss, the biggest character right now, I would say, in The Fiend. And hey, through Randy, we're going to get The Fiend and Drew so that people are paying attention to Drew. And it's like, guys, you guys are making him to be the biggest heel. And he's not. And
he could be. And I'd like that. For
if
the
he was
record,
a heel, great. Yeah.
I didn't yell like that because I don't like these guys. I think they're all incredibly talented. I'm going to throw it out there.
Yeah. But, just have him a heel. How many times have we, did we hear back a few years ago, they need to turn Roman. Roman needs to turn. They want, they need to do it. They didn't. Obviously now that they did. But, Drew's a heel. And he's not even playing a babyface or trying to play a babyface. He's a heel playing a heel that they want us to cheer. Like a babyface.
Yeah. Man, I don't get it. I think Randy Orton's one of the best heels in the business has ever seen. And I
Yeah.
think when he's toe-to-toe with Drew, I'm cheering Randy Orton. What does that
Well,
say about the hateability of Drew?
Yeah, I'm always cheering Randy Orton, so that doesn't matter. But
I still like to tell the stories about. I tell all my friends about how your kid does the Randy Orton posing class pictures and shit.
oh yeah,
What's this? Why is he doing
parties.
this? That's
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
Birthday parties, he's over there. He was the goddamn intermission entertainment at the hockey game we went to, and him dancing up and down the aisle like
Yeah.
Enzo and Randy, and that was great.
Oh yeah, he was fantastic. But yeah, at this point, I think no one is as hateable as Randy Orton. And then you put him face to face, nose to nose with Drew McIntyre, and I'm booing Drew McIntyre. Lean into that.
Yeah.
Because Drew McIntyre is fantastic and dedicated. Lean into the fact that I fucking hate him and want to see him get his ass kicked. That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
I want to boo that dude. And you're telling me, and this is the thing that gets me. I don't know. I mean, if I knew someone who talked to the producers of Thunderdome, I'd ask them, are they told to tell us what to say, or are they telling us what to say based off what they're watching themselves? Are they saying, hey, it's Drew. I think he's a good guy. Everybody cheer. Because every time Drew McIntyre comes across the Thunderdome, they tell me I have to cheer. And this is a dude I naturally want to boo. And every time Randy Orton comes up, like, oh, boo him, boo him. Oh, boo Randy Orton. Let's see those boos, guys. It's Randy fucking Orton, 14-time champion, been around since like 2000, and still at the top of his fucking game. Looks like he's got another 20 years behind him if you look at him. And you want me to boo this guy? You're out of your fucking mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're watching it saying, this guy seems like a bad guy, so you should boo him, or if they're actually being told, tell them to boo this guy or cheer this guy. Because if you're telling me I have to continue to cheer Drew McIntyre, you're out of luck, man. That dude is as booable as it gets. And I think you need to lean into that. Because I think this is the kind of guy who could drive with that. I think he could be Baron Corbin levels heat.
Yeah, big time. Like, and you know, if you take a step back and look at where we're at right now, because there's always faces versus heels.
Mm-hmm.
On one side, you have Randy, Miz, and Morrison, and then on the other side, you have the Fiend and Drew, and it's like, it almost feels like a 5-on-1 right now. Drew should be on the other side, and everyone should be fighting the Fiend.
But here's the thing: is I think it's so goofy that everyone keeps talking about the Fiend being a heel. You're out of your fucking mind. Who doesn't like the Fiend?
Yeah.
The guy's incredible. He's next level. He's the most entertaining thing they have. He's the most compelling story. I send videos of the Fiend to my friends who don't watch wrestling and watch them go, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a face.
It's the definition of cool.
He's as cool as it gets. He's the definition of cool. He's the cool guy.
Yeah.
That's a fucking baby face. He's a creepy fucking baby face, but guess what? That's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard the Legends talk about it in their podcast before. I don't remember which one or whose I want to say because I'll be fucking making it up. But they've talked about it. Heels and face are determined by the audience reaction, not by the booking committee. You can say all you want. Because Austin was supposed to be a heel. They wanted him to be a baby face, but he didn't want to be. He was designed to be a heel. And what happened? The crowd got behind him. And sorry, dude, everyone's cheering you. So there's certain things you won't do anymore when it comes to matches. You're not going to give up anymore. And you're not going to run anymore. Becky. She was supposed to be a heel. You're going to turn on Charlotte. Everyone's going to boo you. And you're going to, you're the new heel of the division. The crowd got behind her. Guess what? You're a face now. Guess what? We decided that.
Yeah. The People's Champs.
The People's Champs is a real fucking thing. Every time. Because like it or not, book them how you want to. We decide who we like and who we hate. Daniel Bryan. Book like a jobber. And we made him a champion because the office couldn't do shit about it. What are they going to do? We're hijacking fucking promos by Randy Orton and John Cena. Hijacked a promo by Randy Orton and John fucking Cena with Triple H and Stephanie. You're going to tell me those three people don't know how to handle a crowd or a mic? And the crowd hijacked it and said, no, we want you guys to know that it's all about Daniel Bryan tonight? Fuck out of here.
You're out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. Fuck out of here. Kofi Mania. Fucking, we decided that shit. And I think that's where we're at with Drew. I think we need to decide that. I'm sorry if I steamrolled some of that there, man. I apologize.
No.
I've had a good amount of Gentleman Jack. I've had an awful lot of pumpkin cream and Svedka.
Yeah. Sounds terrible.
It's not chicken sausage.
Hey, if it's not chicken sausage, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
It was Brussels sprouts.
Dude, I really like that clip too. Where like I had chicken sausage, and there's a pause, and you just go, "Whoa." So like, see, call me crazy. I think that's where we're at. I think Drew needs to lean into being a heel because I think he's easily hateable, and I think that's a really good thing in this business because I think there's some absolute place for these people. And at the end of the day, we drink because we can't stand it, and we keep watching because we fucking love it, and that's what we're doing. Was there anything else you wanted to get in there, Kev?
No. I think that pretty much wraps it up.
I do think Lana's at 7 times for going through a table, and I really want her to get new gear that says 10 time and have a broken table. Like a la Owen Hart with the 2 slammies. You know what I mean? I think that'd be fantastic. And I think that her doing all the pink and black, kind of leaning towards her getting back together with Natty Neidhart, I think it'd be amazing if she had some semi-similar Owen Hart gear that instead of 2 slammies, it's 2 broken tables instead of 10 times in the middle.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking great, man.
Real quick on that.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to be leading up to a Lana and Nia table match?
What? For what? I mean,
don't know.
maybe. It's possible. I'm not gonna lie. What do you think the fuck they're doing with Lacey and Peyton?
They don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't know. No one knows.
That's how I feel about Nia and Lana. I'll tell you this though, Nia putting Lana through a table every night is really turning Nia face in this household. I will boo everything Nia does, and the second she grabs Lana for Samoan drop, I lose it. I'm like, "Oh!" We're getting it. Woo!
You jump up and start singing her theme song.
Yeah. You're not like most girls. Woo! Yeah, I don't know. That's how I've been feeling.
Yep.
Never mind. I was going to ask you a quick question, but I think that it doesn't matter. Angel doesn't matter. Okay. I think that's it for me, man.
Yeah. I think I'm good too.
Producer, anything else that we missed that you wanted to make sure we talked about? Okay. Mission Pro Wrestling this Friday, November 6th. Make sure you check it out. Allison Kay, we're looking out for anywhere you go. Kylie Ray, we hope we see you down the road, but if we don't, bon voyage, and thank you for absolutely everything. Guys, we're wrestling at the Rocks. What? No, we're not. We are wrestling on the Rocks. It is no Remember November. Thank you very much for sticking with us through episode 1 every week, because every show is the first show because we cannot figure this shit out. That's Kevlar on the Rocks over there with an X on Twitter. He logs in once every other month, so send him a DM of anything you want. Scrotes, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm at Ref Marsh. You can find us at all of our links at WrestlingOnTheRocks.com. Guys, I think that's last call. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming through. Cheers.
Cheers.